Eric Swalwell, facing accusations of sexual assault, is quitting Congress. CBS's Michael Toscano with the latest.
In a social media post, Swalwell stated he will fight what he called the false allegations made against him, but, quote, "It's wrong for my constituents to have me distracted from my duties. Therefore, I will resign from Congress." He did not say when that becomes effective. This followed the House Ethics Committee announcing an investigation into sexual assault allegations and calls for his expulsion mounting. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
After not reaching a peace deal with Iran, President Trump orders a blockade of Iranian ports.
Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way very easily. Don't forget, their Navy is gone, their Air Force is gone, their anti-aircraft is gone, their radar is gone, and their leaders are gone.
More from CBS's Natalie Brand.
He's defending the decision, this U.S. blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz, saying that he thinks it will be effective because Iran will not be able to sell oil. We know that the U.S. is also, according to the president, trying to interdict vessels in international waters that have paid tolls to Iran, and that the U.S. is also beginning this operation to find mines that had been laid by Iran.
Pope Leo is visiting Africa and pushing back against President Trump's public attack against him. CBS's Jared Hill has more on the rare clash between the White House and the Vatican.
The president was asked if he would apologize to the Pope.
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran.
Pope Leo called the name of the president's social media platform, Truth Social, ironic, and said Trump, who won over a majority of Catholics in the 2024 election, doesn't understand the message of the gospel.
A man accused in the Molotov cocktail attack of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's home opposed AI, according to court documents, and had a list of other AI executives. CBS's Matt Gutman.
He's accused of firebombing Sam Altman's Mission Hill home in San Francisco at about 4 a.m. on Friday. And authorities also say that about an hour and 7 minutes later, the suspect was seen prowling outside the OpenAI headquarters downtown.
Residents of Sheboygan, Michigan have been told to prepare for possible evacuations as the flooding risk increases. Snow melt from a mid-March winter storm, compounded by recent heavy rain, has pushed the water levels high along the Sheboygan River at the Sheboygan Lock and Dam complex. Also, a large piece of ice damaged the safety wire near the dam. This is CBS News.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com.
Coming up, Seattle's safety plan ahead of the World Cup, what police will not be using. It's one story after Lori at the traffic desk.
And traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. 167 slows through Kent and then a little heavier from Sumner all the way, Pacific all the way to Sumner. It's about a 3-minute slowdown. Seattle to Everett, a 38-minute drive. I-5 still slow past I-90 and 520 in Seattle. 405 southbound is slowing now past I-90. Bellevue to Federal Way, 35-minute drive. And southbound I-5 is bulking up past the T-Dome. Mariners still playing a game, but maybe in about an hour we might see some heavy traffic coming out of downtown. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granilla. We begin in Everett, where authorities say they are investigating a triple stabbing. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay has more.
Just before 9 a.m., deputies went to check out a report of a burglary in the 1200 block of 112th Street Southwest in Everett. A 20-year-old man had knocked, and when no one opened the door, deputies say he forced his way in and started stabbing people. Residents were able to hold on to him until deputies got there. 2 of the 3 people stabbed were rushed to the hospital. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Bremerton police say 6 teenagers are responsible for a wave of vandalism and car theft last week. Officers now estimate the damage at $50,000. It includes stolen vehicles, smashed windows, and property scattered across roadways, then deliberately run over. The group included 4 boys and 2 girls, ages 14 and 15. In Pierce County, deputies say a domestic dispute turned deadly when a man was shot multiple times in a condo near Puyallup. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto says a woman called 911 early yesterday, just before 4:30 in the morning.
A woman had said a male had been shot inside of her duplex. She was home with a child at the time that happened.
The victim is 37 years old. Investigators say the suspect is known, but so far no arrest has been made. City of Seattle has shared plans to keep fans safe during the upcoming World Cup. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey tells us it will not include surveillance cameras unless there's a credible threat.
SPD says they'll be following Mayor Katie Wilson's directive not to use CCTV cameras, even though Captain Daniel Nelson says they make policing crowds faster and easier.
CCTV is a good way for us to do that a little bit more efficiently. But again, we're going to be compliant with the direction that was put forth by Mayor Wilson.
The cameras can be used only if emergency management deems something a credible threat. In downtown Seattle, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Now to your forecast. Looking at cloudy skies, but mainly dry this afternoon. Active tomorrow, lots of rain and plenty of mountain snow as well for your Tuesday. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, John and Joe?
Oh, hey.
So me and my wife have been trying to have a kid for years. Just recently, we found out she's pregnant, which is awesome. So I've been trying to work on my dad jokes.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to run this one by you guys. What do you call a chameleon that can't change its color?
What do you call a chameleon that can't change its colors, Aaron?
A reptile dysfunction. All right, have a good week, guys.
There you go. There we are. Nice to start out with a joke right there. Ah! He's playing blue. We'd like to apologize to everybody that offends anybody. They're trying to have kids, and now she's pregnant, so. Yep. Is that, who is that called it? Is that,
I don't recall hearing that one before.
Andrew, do you know who that caller is? Didn't identify himself, just as a.
No caller ID
a
on
fertile listener.
Yes.
All right, here we go. It is the John Curley Show. Montgomery Casino, still with us. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Teeny Time's going to determine the level that a greatest honor bestowed upon you and your family, non-transferable. All right. Thank you, Teeny. Back in her spot. Joe, there she is back there.
Hey, good job.
There
you go, Coach.
Took her off the floor. Joe tells me, and I believe everything Joe says, even though I don't trust his taste in clothing. I wore one of the shirts that you banned from the show the other day, and Nick's like, I'm going to call Joe, tell him you're wearing the shirt. I'm like, what is this?
So I don't care if you wear it at home.
We're world all in my traffic.
Only
Joe,
show with the dress code.
I know. And then he's like, hey, go fix your hair. I'm like, what are you, my mother? You going to spit on your hand and then like fix the calic or something?
Get over
You seen that move?
Yeah.
Mom fixing the back of your hair. All right, Joe tells me this is all the news. Everybody got all the news. It's right here with a staple. I was thinking a personal story, and I'm sure by the time I finish reading all my chicken scratches, the 18 pages here, I'm going to say probably, I'm going to go 60% of the people are going to be like, yeah, you're a jerk. I'm going 60% on that one. All right. 70, so up to 70% now. Let's see, plus also a 10th person is missing. These are nuclear officials. 10 of them are now gone. They don't know where they've gone. They just simply disappeared. They have U.S. secrets. And who has the answer? I ask you, who has the answer? Joe Rogan. Or maybe not.
That's a tease.
Or maybe not. Which will go back to, this guy's name is Tom Sire. Is that the guy's name? The guy I told you about? The guy that in 1998 said he could build a car that can go like from here to Washington, D.C. with like just running on gas. You know that story?
On water, right?
On water.
Yeah.
Water.
And then he got the gas thing figured out, I think.
Then he ate a sandwich at the Cracker Barrel. He ran out into the parking lot. And the rest will shock you.
Wow, that's a tease.
Thank you, gas. I didn't see that one coming. Plus, this guy describes himself as the Luigi Mangione of toilet paper. I don't know if he necessarily won either one of those things, but good for him. Yeah, he'll go down in the history books as a moron. And our buddy coming back. So Ernie Mac Mackinson, the guy that saved everybody, or at least stopped the bus from smashing into a whole bunch of cars, the ongoing saga of the individual. And now, can we throw in another conspiracy on this one? Did Metro edit the videotape that might help Mac's story? Joe, your answer.
I'm waiting. Apparently, we're going to get that footage within an hour.
And the footage shows the bus hitting the cars. Does the footage also show Mac going to the front of the bus and saving everybody's life?
Yes.
Does the also have audio that would somehow also explain the condition that the bus driver was in prior to taking the wheel or during the time of driving the bus?
Mysteriously, according to Mac, no, brother.
Wow, that's the tease.
Thank you. All right, moving on to rest questions. Joe threw in a Mac imitation there. A little update on that guy. Plus, the tariffs came in. Total amount of money brought in $264 billion in 2025. Unfortunately, they also increased the price of everything. Don't forget, Liberation Day was it 1 year ago today?
No, it was last week.
Right, but it was like, 50% on this guy, 70 on this, 100 on this, and then they all kind of ended up coming back down again. Plus, we want to choke off the Strait of Hormuz, so the people that were blocking it, now we're blocking them. This thing goes around and around and around. Plus, probably one of them, second to the Easter Bunny speech, this one that Trump gives next to the DoorDash delivery person. I thought that person wishes they were in a Easter Bunny suit rather than standing there. And if you want to negotiate with the leader of Uganda, they have a very simple request. They need money and a beautiful woman to deliver it.
The most beautiful woman to be his bride.
And she's Turkish?
Correct.
Okay. That seems reasonable.
Sure.
And then Chris says, this guy, poor guy, I can relate to this. I can relate to having to run into somebody's use the bathroom, and then while you're in there, the police think you've broken in to the place, and all you need to do is go to the bathroom because you were having sudden and uncontrollable bouts of diarrhea, and then you end up on the ground being tased in the neck. I can relate to all this.
I figured.
I was surprised that people would admit to diarrhea.
For that, Jacob. Okay, you ready? I'll stop all the music. That's done. All right, I was thinking. This is from personal experience. Living there in the barn in Cleella. And I'll tell you the story. First of all, to tell you that I'm sympathetic to anybody that listens to this and has a gut reaction to how horrible DUI drivers are. I was 16 years old. I was driving down Bryn Mawr Avenue heading to my friend Schmitty's house. It was not quite dusk. There were still some lights available from the sun, but it was getting dark. And I heard a horn blowing, and I kept thinking it was coming behind me. Bryn Mawr Avenue is a fairly fast road. There's only 2 lanes, but people ripping up and down on this particular road. So I think I hear the horns coming. I think they're from behind me. I turn around and look back, and I realize it's not behind me, but it's a constant horn. As I come around this corner, there is an embankment, and as I look to the right, where it levels off on the grass, there is a car that was and is convertible. There are 3 dead bodies. One of them is over the driver, and that's where the horn is going. The other 2 had been ejected from the car, and they were lying next to the car. Also in the car, there was a tremendous amount of empty beer bottles. Some of them were also just scattered out here on the grass. I was the first person to arrive. I was 16 years old. I remember going down there and seeing this sight, and I just froze looking at what I was looking at. I could see the driver in there, the impact of his head to the windshield. I ran up onto the Bryn Mawr Avenue, and I flagged down the first car that I could find that would actually stop, and it happened to be a doctor. And the doctor got out and went down the embankment and went to it, and then he proceeded to check the pulses of the different individuals that were lying around, and the driver, he pronounced that person dead. But the one guy that was furthest away from the front of the car was still alive. And I remember the doctor turning to me after feeling the pulse. He said, he's going into shock. I need something to keep him warm. I had just 2 days ago got my Leatherman jacket, and my mom had, in a motherly way, had stitched on my letter that I got for running track. And I remember as I was taking it off, the sleeves, that weird leather, was still stiff, hadn't been broken in yet. I think I'd only worn it twice, had that sort of new clothing smell on it. And as I took it off and I handed it to him, I felt the weight of it. And I thought, well, maybe this will help the guy on the ground that's going into shock, and you need to cover them so their body can stay warm. I then, in a trance-like state, scurried back up of the hill there. The driver was no longer leaning on the wheel, so there was silence. And in a matter of time, as I got back on the bike and slowly pedaled away, I could hear the ambulance. So at 16, I saw the effects of drinking and driving. And I knew. And at that point, I made a decision that I would never drink and drive. I'm not a big drinker anyway, so I didn't give up a whole bunch. But there's my story to start. And now, Washington arrests about 20,000 DUI drivers a year. 1 in 4 will re-offend. If the 1 in 4, that's about 25% of reoffenders in the state of Washington. The state of Washington thanks you profusely because you contribute to the coffers anywhere between $17 and $25 million payments in court fines. That's if you're reoffending, and don't forget about 25% will. That doesn't include the court processing fees, the probation supervision fees, the DOL license reinstatement fees, the electronic home monitoring fees, the blow and go that's installed in your car. And if you have a car rather than a truck, you pay less in a car than you do in a truck. Who knows why, but whatever reason. It all adds up to about $40 million the state of Washington makes off of people that drink and drive, and many of them are reoffending. So $30 to $40 million, that's what happens. Now, that's a lot of money for the state, and they thank you when you decide to have another drink. I'm going to tell you the story about my neighbor. I'll keep some of the stuff as private as I can, but here's the story. Mother of 2, DUI, third arrest, goes to jail, comes out, car is impounded, car is taken, fines, empty her bank account, all of her savings. She loses her job, can't drive, can't go to work. The state takes the children from her. She loses her apartment. She moves in with friends. She sleeps on the couch, or not on the couch, but sometimes on the floor. So why is she on the floor? She's on the floor because she's an alcoholic, because that's where she wakes up when she's sober. She's on the floor. The friends have had enough of this, so they kick her out. She's now homeless. She has no job. She has no money. She has continual fines, and she must go show up at some state supervision once a week if she's able to get there. If not, she's in even more trouble. She's got to continue to pay the monthly fine. So what does she do? She gets a job. She gets 2 jobs, as a matter of fact, because she's a real go-getter. She gets one job stealing from a local store, and the other job is selling drugs. She's doing pretty well. Not that I would encourage either one of these jobs for anybody out there, but it does help her buy booze. See the pattern? She's an alcoholic. She's an alcoholic. And what happens when you're an alcoholic and you drive, you get caught drinking and driving. So she has jumped through all of these hoops. Now imagine this. If she were to get her driver's license back, you think she would drink and drive again? Well, research says yes, she will. Would the state want her off the roads? Well, they say they would. But what would they do with all the money that they lose? See, Washington state should look to Pennsylvania. The Keystone State may have found the keys to reducing repeat DUI drivers by actually doing something that the state of Washington doesn't. They treat the person as an alcoholic, not as an ATM machine. Because, Washington likes to fine people. Pennsylvania seems to have found out that they could actually treat people, and it works out to be a lot better. The numbers are far superior to what the state of Washington is doing. Now, attorneys in the estate here in Washington, they have a problem, and they may cry a bit because they won't make as much money as they would, but the roads would actually be safer. The Keystone State has the key. Pennsylvania asked the question, is the person an alcoholic? That's the first question they ask. If the answer is okay, they treat the problem, which is the person who's an alcoholic. Pennsylvania's DUI courts cut recidivism rate down by 36%. They saved the state $6.5 million in just 3 years. They treat rather than fining the person. PA arrests more drunk drivers per capita than Washington State. It's not like they go easy on all of them, but they just treat it differently. Pennsylvania also doesn't get $90 million a year off of drunk drivers. Maybe they're not busy making money off of alcoholics. If the Washington State really wanted to save lives and get drunk drivers off the road, maybe they should treat the problem, which is alcoholism, rather than fining the driver, who ends up homeless and a criminal and a person with a broken life. Or maybe they just want the money. I can't imagine that's the case. Certainly not here in the Evergreen State, where the green seems to stand for cash. There you go. Questions, comments, concerns?
This is your neighbor, you said? Or
nearby.
Nearby. Does she have one of those blow to drive devices?
And the ankle thing.
That thing costs quite a bit of money too, doesn't it?
It's $200 and some a month, or $100 and some bucks. I think it's on a truck. It's like $400. A car might be $120, something like that. Well, you have no money, so just sell more drugs. It's again, what are you trying to solve? Trying to get people off the road? Try to get drunk drivers off the road? Why don't you look at some other system that actually gets drunk drivers off the road and doesn't cost the person all the additional problems? Look at that. So that person's no longer a functioning member of society. The state hopes they get their driver's license back at some point, hopes they start driving and drinking, because they almost guaranteed will. And then you can make money off them again. You want to destroy the person? Here's the other thing. That person gets in the car. They don't go, wow, last time I drove drunk, it cost me, $20,000. And my DUI attorney made money. The state made money. I'm not going to drink and drive because it cost me a lot of money. That doesn't work. That's not what the person's thinking is. How drunk am I? How far do I need to go from point A to point B? What are the chances of me getting caught? I'll just close one eye. I'll keep it under the speed limit, and I hope I won't get caught. It's not they're thinking, oh, it cost me a lot of money. Right? It's the same thing as it's an alcoholic. Look, should I have one more drink and then get on the road, or should I get drunk and then not show up at work and then beat my wife? It's an alcohol problem. It's not a drinking and driving, but we look at it in the state of Washington. Well, we'll teach you. We'll take your job away. We'll take your kids away. You'll lose your house. You'll lose all this money, and then you won't drink and drive anymore. They don't have the numbers to back that up. $90 million. And who makes the money? The state makes the money, and DUI attorneys make the money. They just roll you through the system. And a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, I see it, and there's nothing I can do. Sad. But then again, I mean, in no way does anybody want anybody drinking or driving on the road. But if you want to fix it, maybe you should try something different, because our numbers keep going up. Here comes Lori checking the traffic for us out there on the roadways. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. We're still seeing the slowdown on 167, mostly now just through Pacific and then on into Puyallup. We're seeing a slowdown South 5 as you head from 16 all the way to 512. No sign of an accident there, but also around the Fife curve. And in Seattle, we're seeing a little bit of slowing southbound I-5 as you head between the Lake Bridges, northbound from 520 just through the U District. This month, when you install a new AC or heat pump, you'll get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. So schedule today at dayandnight.net. I'm Lori, KIRO, Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. How some parts of the house, it just doesn't work. The closets get jammed. The garage you completely avoid. The pantry is never what you want when you open any of those drawers. And you get kind of used to it after a while. You stop noticing, how disorganized everything is. And then you realize, now, this is where you wish you could design things differently. And that is where Closets by Design comes in. It's not just closets. It's the garage. It's the pantry. It's the laundry room. It's the home office. It's the wall beds, the entertainment centers, the mudrooms, the whole house. Imagine if the junk drawer all of a sudden spread through the whole house. A lot of people live that way. They don't like it, but they can fix it. The difference is you want to customize your space. You want to organize your stuff. You want your life and everything else not to be so chaotic. The best thing you can do is have Closets by Design come in. Great advantage for you right now. This is a limited time offer, 40% off plus an additional 15% off at 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closets by Design. Closet.byDesign.com, 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan. Presented by Carter Subaru.
You know what's great cut in half? I don't know, cake, pie. You know what's not? A neighborhood. That's what's happened up in Mukilteo for about 18 months now. The Edgewater Bridge has been closed, cutting the neighborhood in half. In a couple of weeks, that bridge is going to reopen, and the neighbors are ecstatic. This is Sully. I'll have more on Tuesday morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Deep to right field. Going. Goodbye, baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The Mariners kick off a 6-game homestand this Friday. Don't miss great giveaways like the King Dome Fanny Pack hat on Friday night versus the Rangers, thanks to Global Credit Union, and 3 straight Mariners value games against the A's, Monday, April 20th through Wednesday, April 22nd. Lock in your seats today at mariners.com.
April showers bring May who am I kidding? We live in Western Washington. The only thing April showers bring are clogged and overflowing gutters, which can damage your home from your roof to your foundation. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and my friends at Valentine Roofing are ready to come to your rescue. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, Valentine also offers gutter guards to help keep leaves and needles out for good, giving you an additional layer of defense against clogged and overflowing gutters. Having Valentine out at my house and seeing their professionalism and attention to detail, it's no surprise Valentine Roofing was awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company and Silver for Best Gutter Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. You deserve the best too, so schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206-ROOFING. That's 206-ROOFING. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. naval blockade of Iran in the Strait of Hormuz now underway, though the military releasing few details as of yet. CBS News national security analyst Aaron McLean on what it might look like.
So our Navy is going to be operating largely out here in the Arabian Sea and into the Gulf of Oman. This is where you'll see our operations largely taking place. The Iranians, of course, are currently in the strait itself.
In the meantime, President Trump now facing backlash after posting an AI-generated image of himself as a Jesus-like figure. He later deleted the post, saying the image was meant to depict him as a doctor. Seattle University political science professor Patrick Shetmer says it did not sit well with many Catholics.
Both its timing and the more Jesus-like imagery that Trump was garbed in, I think the timing of the two made it particularly unfortunate for the president.
CBS News went to the voters on this. Anthony Salvanto is the network's executive director of elections and surveys.
It's religiosity, as measured in this case by how often you attend Mass, you go to church. When you look at folks who go weekly, approval of the conflict and approval of Trump overall is much higher than people who attend less often.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey tells us the conflict in the Middle East could dampen summer tourism here in the Pacific Northwest.
Just a couple of months away from kickoff, and tourism officials are expecting a nearly 10% drop in revenue for shops, hotels, and restaurants. According to the Seattle Times, fewer foreign visitors because of the U.S. conflict with Iran. And with negotiations stalled and crude oil rising again, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says,
things are about to start going back up again with oil prices surging.
Visit Seattle says the 6 World Cup matches here in Seattle will still bring in $846 million and create 20,000 jobs. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Another measles case confirmed in King County. This time it involves a baby. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun says the infants may have exposed others at multiple locations last week in Bellevue and Northeast Seattle,
including grocery stores, restaurants, public transit, and Seattle Children's Hospital. Because measles is so contagious and can linger in the air, anyone who might have been exposed is urged to monitor for symptoms.
We have put a list of those potential exposure sites on mynorthwest.com. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Lori.
Heading out of Seattle to Everett will now take you 42 minutes. I-5 still slows now from a little before I-90. This is northbound all the way past 520. 405 southbound, you're starting to see it bulk up not only past I-90 southbound, but northbound out of Bellevue all the way to through Kirkland to about 522. 167 slows through Kent and then pretty solid from Pacific into Sumner. And now Seattle to Tacoma is 43 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
So your forecast now, looking at cloudy skies and the overcast conditions continuing into tomorrow with plenty of rain on the way for Tuesday and some mountain snow as well. Right now, 55 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Boop. Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating and cooling and plumbing and electric. It's Home Comfort Alliance, homecomfortalliance.com. They put the comfort in home. You get the home, they put the comfort in there. Woo. Comfort in home, Home Comfort Alliance. Okay. That's me just riffing. That's what I do. Look at Aaron over there taking notes.
Oh.
Okay. What was Rick Riz's joke? I missed it, Aaron. What was it again? I know you're...
I'm not sure. It's the ad for the Rick Riz show.
Yeah,
it says something about a cat on his lap, and then Charlie and Amanda start laughing. I don't know.
Want me to play it again?
Yeah, let's hear it again.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15
Sitting
on
on my
Seattle's
scrotum?
Morning News.
What was he sitting on?
I think scorebook. But
Scorebook.
Oh, yes.
Good part of Rick's body I'd never heard of
it
before.
has to do with the ball game. But
Okay, wait, got it. All right, here we go.
Mariners got the sweep today, though.
Yes, that's what I was hoping you'd get
Yes, that's what happened at the ballpark today.
All right, back to the show.
4-game sweep.
There we are. Ever since they broke that bat, the
Yeah,
Ichiro
I
back.
know. It was a good omen after all.
Yes.
We talked about that.
There you are. Thank you. All right, okay, stop the music. All right, we don't know what's going on here, but it happens again. So if you've been following, and I was talking to a guy over the weekend who seemed to be pretty up on the news, and I said, well, how about all these national security, these people that have all this clearance, officials, top security clearances just disappearing? He's like, what? I go, yeah, like 9 of them have gone, just disappeared. The one that we were sort of looking at was the guy that left. Where is this guy? Neil McCaslin, who walked away from his home in Albuquerque carrying nothing more, left his phone, his prescription glasses behind, just walked out the door, hasn't been seen since. This is now the 10th individual, is this other guy, Chris, what's this one's name, Joe? This next guy that just suddenly disappeared. Where is he? He's
he didn't just disappear.
This guy in August.
Yeah, this is August of last year.
This is Steve Garcia, 48 years old, vanishes without a trace on the 28th of August. Last seen leaving Albuquerque, New Mexico, from his home on foot, carrying only a handgun. So this is the 10th. 10th altogether now have just disappeared. The thing they all have in common is they're all working with top security clearance. Nobody knows why, where they're going. So then you think, well, when you can't answer something, you go to the guy that used to host Fear Factor.
That's right.
Joe Rogan.
This missing scientist thing, it sounds a little conspiratorial thing.
I'll say.
It sounds like a little silly, a little tinfoil hatty.
It does.
Until you start thinking about the amount of money that would be lost if a breakthrough tech came around that revolutionized the way they distribute energy.
Right.
Breakthrough, 0-point energy, breakthrough, whatever that is that these people are working on. Plasma technology, whatever the it is. You would lose if you're in whatever business that would be competing with them. You're going to lose so much money.
Well,
you're probably going to go under. If you're in the energy business, you're going to go, or he goes away.
Right.
And he goes away, and there's like him and maybe a few other people that work with him that understand that at all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all wandering through the back
Like Keith Morrison. Was he in the trunk of the car?
rooms now. They're
and
gone.
they're all scared. They're all going to scatter like roaches.
Yeah.
And because their life is in danger, and it is. Like, this is theoretical, right? I mean, it could be just a coincidence that all these people get.
How could it be? It's 2 people from the same lab.
Yep.
What's with the F-bombs in the show? Really? Is it not necessary?
Yep.
Like what?
Yeah.
There's what's her name? Nancy Guthrie disappeared.
Okay, now they're bringing everybody else in. Oh.
But he makes a good point at the end.
Oh, shoot. Hang on. That couldn't get on the end here? Let's see. Hang on. Here we go.
Human endeavor right now should be moving in the direction of getting off oil. I don't mean for carbon emissions. I mean because of this oil problem that we have. We're like on the precipice of World War III at any given moment.
Right.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for all that. A lot of speculation from Joe Rogan, but no particular answers other than the fact that it is strange that it's clustered into 10 people that all have basically the same background. They were all working on similar things. And how do you explain it? It's very odd. Which brings us to the story of what's his name? Meyer. Stan Meyer. Joe, I asked you to look up Stan Meyer, and you just started cursing. So Stan Meyer claims that he had was able to run his doom buggy entirely on water, only 22 gallons to cross the United States coast to coast. He claimed the device used a special electrical process to break water molecules apart, effectively producing hydrogen gas and power the engine. He appeared on programming. He was great demonstrations. He was a phenomenon. He did magazines and newspapers, a whole bunch of stuff. Claims U.S. military and NATO were interested in his technology. Then he got sued for gross fraud. Judges said that it couldn't do what they said it could do. But here's the story where it gets really interesting. So here's the guy that is basically going to be able to replace oil. In March of 1998, Meyer was dining at a Cracker Barrel restaurant in Grove City when suddenly he ran outside and told his brother, "They've poisoned me." He collapses. He died shortly thereafter. Official cause of death, cerebral aneurysm, a natural medical event. No evidence of poisoning was ever found, but conspiracy theories persist to this day. He had the fried clams. That's all I'm going to say. At the Cracker Barrel, in the middle of the country, fried clams, maybe not the best move. Oh.
Do you believe in the water fuel cell?
Oh. It's working on my Keith Morrison. It's found in the trunk of a car.
I miss Sherry.
Do I believe in it? I don't know. Is it something you believe in that say he was able to break all this stuff down? Countless videos say that he is one of the guys that somebody's close. So the question is, major industries to be disrupted by an individual, wouldn't it be easier to just take the individual out? Or in this case, 10 people. How do you explain it? I looked up to find out, statistically speaking, how many people are just, mysteriously disappear a year. It's 560,000 in the United States. Most of them are found within 72 hours. Many of them tend to be over the age of 65 and have dementia, or for some reason, it's normally some sort of mental condition where they just simply wander off. They're found 72 hours later. Or they are in the sex trade industry. They tend to be prostitutes that can disappear. Many of them are Native Americans. So those are clusters. But for having 10 people that are all involved in this type of highly secure research involving NATO and possible alien stuff, it's very odd that NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory people 10 of them would just kind of go away and never be found again. How about the guy that was assassinated at his home there in the Boston suburban Brookline neighborhood? This is on the 15th of December. Remember the gunman that had gone in and killed the people in the classroom?
Yep.
And then went over to this guy's house and killed him. All right, Joe. Why don't you take us to the rabbit hole?
I got nothing on. There is no rabbit hole for this one. That's the craziest thing. Like, this is it. It's barely scratched. It's just the surface level. These people are all missing. Nobody seems to know why. And any other time, I think, in our history, like if this happened in 1996 or something like that, this is
way back.
This would be all anybody was talking about. But we happen to be in this news cycle where every day is just chaos, and you can't decide what to focus on. So this one is like bottom of the barrel. Nobody's paying it much attention.
Does it get news? NBC, CBS, ABC, any of the mainstream?
Fox covered it once, but essentially all they did is say, this is, bizarre.
We lost our 9th viewer.
Yeah, exactly. they kind of run down the list and say how they're all connected. And, this is, at that point, I think it was 9 of them are missing, but that's it.
The wife of one of the guys, the guy that we talked about earlier that just disappeared a couple of weeks ago, that walked out, she said, listen, he was not suicidal. He didn't have any medical conditions. He did not have Alzheimer's in any way. Was he mentally incapacitated that he would just leave the house? She said, I don't know where he is. I don't know what's going on. But this is the truth. Don't believe any of the other stuff.
And she also said that he left everything behind except his Apple Watch, which, if that's true, and speaking of Nancy Guthrie, they said she had one too. If you had one of those devices on, they should be able to find you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. All right, we'll put this over into the category of guess we'll never know. Unless we go to Joe Rogan, who just has a lot of people using filthy words. All right, here's Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Well, we're looking at a pretty easy drive for the most part, unless you're heading out of Seattle, which is really solid right now, both directions of I-5. Between the lake bridges, northbound continues slow till you get to just about a little before Lake City Way. Both directions of 405 starting to get heavy now, southbound, heading towards through Newcastle and northbound through Kirkland. We are still seeing the 167 slow down approaching Kent, and then from Pacific on into Sumner, and a little slowing as you head south 5 around the Fife curve. Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
You know how everybody's got a guy? Oh, I got my transition. I got a problem. I got a guy. I need help with this, help with that. Oh, I got a guy. I got a great accountant. I got a great guy. I got a guy. I got a guy that could fit you for golf clubs. It's like, how about this? I got a guy. I had a bad hip, went to see him, had stem cell procedure, and wow. I got a great guy for you. I started talking to a bunch of patients of Dr. Mark Wagner. That's my guy. They had a bad shoulder, an elbow, an ankle, or wrist or knee, whatever was bothering them. They had a number of things in common. They were all at their wits' end. They had all lost their ability to do all the stuff they love to do, skiing, water skiing, tennis, you name it, hiking, biking. And they were all talking to doctors about surgery. And every single one of these people went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner to find out about a 90-minute outpatient procedure And he's done more than 20,000 of these. And he's been in this business now for 30 years. And every single person I talked to said, yes, I made the right decision. Not surgery, Dr. Mark Wagner. What's your story? Maybe it starts with drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harker.
And I'm Manda Factor. Where does the ceasefire stand? And what about the Strait of Hormuz?
News Nation's Leland Vittert gives us his take on the status of the Iran war.
We told you about lucrative contracts the Trump administration gave the company that helped organize President Trump's rally on January 6th.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold has an update.
And Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
You can count on trusted local news and information from the Seattle Times, one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country, right here in the Pacific Northwest. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Summer's right around the corner. Can you say World Series? I don't want to jinx anybody, and I don't want to jinx that heating system or cooling system that you have, but it could possibly out at home. So the best thing to do right now is to replace the system. You want it done right and done fast. Upgrade your cooling now with Home Comfort Alliance. Their 60-second online price estimator makes it so easy. Upgrade to a Lennox cooling system and get a new heating system free. Plus available utility rebates. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Muggleshoe Casino, thank you so much for sponsoring the text line at 1-888-973-5476. Are all welcome. I don't know why this guy would call himself the Luigi Mangione of toilet paper, but I guess you can explain it here. Federal and state prosecutors suggest.
Hang on, I got to run this video. This is him setting the place on fire.
All right. Oh, I've seen this. Yeah. All right, here we go. For you kids.
Oh, if you're not going to pay us enough to live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this.
All right.
All you had to do was pay us enough to live. All you had to do was pay us enough to live. There goes your inventory.
Wow. So he sets all the toilet paper on fire. Wow, is that the warehouse fire right there?
Oh, yeah. It's like 6 blocks.
Yeah. And all he needed, so the job wasn't paying him enough. All you need to do is pay us more, and then I've just burned up all your inventory. There's a fire.
Burned down an entire neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay. So rather than getting another job, burn down your employer's inventory, because as far as he was concerned, they just weren't paying him enough. Couldn't cut his expenses, move to another state, find a different job.
They got pretty decent minimum wage there, so couldn't be that bad.
I don't know what he's doing. Federal state prosecutors discussed a $600 million arson fine. Well, he's not going to have to worry about a job. He's going to have 3 hots and a cot.
This is an alarming trend where we have these political extremists, if you will. They seem almost proud of their crimes.
Arson to me is a real head scratcher. I do not understand that somebody who is suspected of arson does something where they get no value out of it other than to displace people from their jobs, to ruin commerce, to get in the way of labor, to put people in physical harm. The initial estimates that we've received is that the paper product alone that was inside of the warehouse was worth $500 million.
In a phone call to one witness, the defendant compared himself to Luigi Mangione, the accused murderer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, boy, he's in good company then. Yeah, Luigione's got 9 felonies, plus he's got second-degree murder. He's going to be tried in the state and federal as well. So this guy, good for him. The co-worker on the damage that could have been done.
One of the 20 employees that was inside that warehouse the night of the fire is speaking out because he says that fire ruined so many lives.
Like, you're ruining people's life doing this.
On Thursday, we met this man outside the courthouse in Rancho Cucamonga who did not want to be identified but claimed he was one of the 20 employees inside the night of the fire.
It was just a lot of chaos and a lot of people just running around everywhere seeing what's happening, and it's crazy because it was in different locations that the fire was being set up. There's things that are going on with the world right now, but that you don't go and burn a building down because your life is horrible.
Kimberly Clark pays some of the highest state salaries in California, averaging $61,381 annually, higher than most states. And then they go on to break down the roles. If you get different jobs there in marketing or in sales. So national average, $50,000. Overall, it's one of the best places to work in the state of California with limited education. You could still do pretty well with raises at 4% a year. Well, they're going to come back again, aren't they?
It's going to be a while.
California's the highest, yeah. So, I don't know, whatever the guy was, he was making some $60,000, didn't have enough, so burn the place down. This guy's insane. That's not a rational decision you make. Good, you go back into work on Monday. Hey, you guys, any work to be done?
The place is gone.
Gone. Yeah. All righty, let's check with Lori in traffic. Here we go, Lori.
Well, we have an accident taking up 2 left lanes at southbound 405 right at the West Valley Highway, causing about a 7-minute slowdown Bellevue to Federal Way. Seattle to Everett now 43 minutes. 405 slows southbound past I-90. Bellevue to Linwood right now 25 minutes. And southbound I-5 Federal Way to Tacoma, we're looking at 16 minutes. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
You know what's great cut in half? I don't know, cake, pie. You know what's not? A neighborhood. That's what's happened up in Mukilteo for about 18 months now. The Edgewater Bridge has been closed, cutting the neighborhood in half. In a couple of weeks, that bridge is going to reopen, and the neighbors are ecstatic. This is Sully. I'll have more on Tuesday morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hartner.
And I'm Manda Factor. Where does the ceasefire stand? And what about the Strait of Hormuz?
News Nation's Leland Vittert gives us his take on the status of the Iran war.
We told you about lucrative contracts the Trump administration gave the company that helped organize President Trump's rally on January 6th.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold has an update.
And Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Two developments on Capitol Hill. First, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California says he will resign from Congress following sexual assault and misconduct allegations. Swalwell, who also dropped out of California's gubernatorial race, denies the allegations against him, but as CBS's Torian Small reports,
in it, he started, as he's done in previous statements, by apologizing to his family and friends about the drama that this has caused for them, but ultimately going to say he's resigning. He's also acknowledging this investigation into him by the House Ethics Committee, as well as these expulsion calls from folks across the aisle.
Meantime, Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas has just said that he will retire from Congress amid bipartisan calls to expel him. Gonzalez admitted to an affair with a staff member who later died by suicide. Prosecutors have filed an attempted murder charge against a man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's home.
Court documents allege Daniel Moreno Gama, accused of throwing the incendiary device at Sam Altman's San Francisco home, was opposed to artificial intelligence and had a list of other AI executives.
I am surprised.
Moreno Gama's neighbor in suburban Houston, Stephanie Brosovin, who said she's a little disturbed.
But I don't know that, I didn't feel that we were in any kind of danger.
Michael Toscano, CBS News.
With no deal made at the negotiating table over the weekend between the U.S. and Iran, the U.S. Navy's blockade of major ships going into or out of the Strait of Hormuz is well underway. CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson on how it's going so far.
The president on Truth Social just recently said that 34 tankers went through yesterday on Sunday, but the traffic before the conflict began was about 120, 130 tankers.
President Trump has defended his decision to post an AI-generated image appearing to depict him in the likeness of Jesus, but he insists
it wasn't depiction. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support.
The post last night sparked backlash even from some of the president's most vocal supporters, and it has since been deleted from his social media account. In another social media post, President Trump has called Pope Leo weak on crime and terrible on foreign policy. The pontiff, while traveling to Algeria today, told reporters that he is not afraid of the Trump administration and...
I do not look at my role as being a politician. I don't want to get into a debate with him. I don't think that the message of the gospel is meant to be abused in the way that some people are doing.
This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
It might take time to think. They might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Coming up, Bellevue Police taking down an organized crime ring. That's after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Well, we still have a slowdown both directions of 405 between I-5 and 167 because of an earlier accident with southbound at the Valley Highway. Making you drive Bellevue to Federal Way about 7 minutes longer than usual. Seattle to Everett now up to 46 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood is a 25-minute drive. And if you're heading from Federal Way on into Tacoma, you're up to 16 minutes. I'm seeing a pretty big slowdown right now. It's northbound I-5 from Marysville all the way into Arlington. Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. After a 2-year-long investigation, Bellevue police say they've arrested members of a large-scale crime ring. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch says that group was targeting older community members.
Bellevue police say they started to see a problem during the summer of 2024. Community members, usually elderly, approached on the street and robbed of expensive jewelry. Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson says they finally caught up with 2 members last Wednesday in Federal Way.
When we were observing them and surveilling them, we were able to find the best opportunity to place them under arrest, and we were able to do that in Kirkland.
The investigation is ongoing, and Anderson says more arrests are possible. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Deputies in Everett are investigating a triple stabbing tied to a reported home invasion. Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says a 20-year-old man forced his way into a home. This happened on 112th Street Southwest, and he stabbed 3 people. Residents inside held him down until first responders arrived. 2 of those 3 victims are listed in critical condition. Bremerton police say 6 teenagers went on a destructive crime spree last week, and KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay says those teens did about $50,000 in damage.
Police say last Thursday, the 4 boys and 2 girls between the ages of 14 and 15 stole cars, broke car windows, damaged interiors, and stole other property. One of the kids was even caught on camera kicking in the front door of an occupied home, but barking dogs scared them off, and they went running back to a nearby stolen car where the others were waiting, according to police. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Mariners sweep aside the Astros. That is 4 straight wins over Houston. Today's series finale featured a pair of home runs from Josh Naylor.
A bolt to center from Josh Naylor. Lightning strikes twice.
Naylor ended up with 5 RBI. Starter George Kirby pitched into the 8th inning. Final score 6-2. Mariners are in San Diego tomorrow to start a 3-game series with the Padres. Now to your forecast, looking at cloudy skies right now, then a potent storm rolls through tomorrow. Plenty of rain and also snow for the mountains. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hi, John and Joe. I love your show. I listen to y'all on my way to work daily.
Okay.
I am one of Nate's groupies. I followed Nate from the rock and roll station over here to the new station.
All right.
I am a better informed person now.
Yes, you are. Well, you sound like it. I appreciate that. You are a Nate groupie, and so are the rest of us, and I don't even know where Nate is today. So the groupies are lost their
Ocean Shores.
He's in Ocean Shores.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. All right, well. Diving in and thank you, Nate. Okay. Well, what was the date of it, Joe?
Looks like March 18th.
March 18th, the bus heading down, I think it was like 11 o'clock in the morning down Greenwood Avenue. And all of a sudden hits one car, another car. It's the driver has lost consciousness. A guy that was sitting in the way back of the bus goes to the front of the bus, even though there were other people standing around yelling at him like, oh, stop hitting cars. This guy goes up, pulls the little plastic divider away, goes up, stops puts the brake on the thing, steers the thing away from hitting more cars, takes the driver's body off of, at this point, he's unconscious, moves him to the floor, kind of tosses him to the floor, and that begins the saga of Mr. Mac. Turn up the Mac.
Hey, how you doing?
Mac, how are you? All right,
good.
So it's been a while. What's that?
For the record, I'm not a McCurry groupie.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, we don't want you to be a groupie. We want you. We don't need you as a groupie. We just need you as a guy that's not getting screwed over.
Wrong gender.
Yeah. Okay.
Wrong gender.
All right, I got you, Mac. I got you.
Wrong gender.
All right, you've established wrong gender. Okay. All right, so that was the, Joe says that was the 17th of March. We had you on the air the next day. You told us about how your face, show, Mac, with the language. Now, hang on.
Okay, I apologize.
So you hit the windshield, you called Metro, you say, hey, my glasses broke. I was on board that bus. The guy, you made 2 calls. The guy hung up on you. We talked to you, and you're like, Mac, you got a case here. I mean, you were injured. Then you had to go to the hospital. I think you spent 2 days in the hospital?
18 hours.
Right. So you had some swelling in the spine. You had some additional headaches and things like that. Then you end up losing.
I still got it.
You still got them. You lose your job. You can't drive. Somebody steals.
I cannot drive.
Yeah, you steals something out of your backpack. You lose that. You lose cash. You lose your apartment. Then you're living in a shelter, which, as you described to Joe, as a lot of weird people living there.
Well, yeah, they got issues, and I'm not on the same road, brother.
I got
I'm
you.
grateful.
Yes.
I could have been on the street. Okay, let's keep things real.
Right. Got it.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I could have been rained on, and that would have sucked.
Yes. Well, so Joe went down to see you, met you in person, and we gave we threw a little bit of money together that we quickly decided that you could have better use for it than we did. And then you told Joe.
And then, go ahead.
Yeah, you told Joe, you're like, I'm giving you this back. Look me in the eye. Joe's imitation of you.
Guess
said,
what?
What?
I got it in my hand.
Well, good. Keep it in your hand. So.
No. It don't work that way, dude.
All right. Well,
sorry.
No. Listen.
I got to pay it back. I got to cowboy up.
That's
the way we do things. You work, I work. We mind our own business, and we take care of our families. That's life.
Well, I honor that, and we respect the fact that you'd like to return it. So you got yourself.
I'm going to return it.
I know. Okay, Mac, you got yourself an attorney. The first one didn't work out for you. The second one, now the video has come forward that has now been released to various television stations. Is there anything in that video?
Hogwash.
What's that?
It's hogwash.
What's hogwash, Mac?
That video, dude. What? If the video, okay, if you have all the action up front, why do you go to the back, to the front, to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, to the back, to the front? Why not just leave it up front?
So
I mean, that's reasonable.
You're questioning.
Right?
You're questioning the editing of the thing.
Yes, sir. Because you know that nice lady that one that was in pink.
Yes.
Okay. I grabbed her phone. I was rude to her.
All right.
Because she was saying hogwash. She was saying a bunch of, I don't know what she was saying. Blood. I don't know even why she's up there. She's not doing nothing. Okay. But she kept pushing her way there, playing with her phone. And like all people nowadays, they got to play with video.
Yeah.
Anyway, I grabbed her phone and I said, do not listen to this woman. It's not a heart attack. It's blood pressure. He's yelling about blood pressure. And I handed the phone back to her, and I apologized to this nice woman.
Uh-huh.
I was rude, so I had to take time and apologize to her.
Yeah.
And then it skips forward, and you can see him raise up, but then there's no video. There's no audio about him yelling about his blood pressure. Okay. And that nice lady all of a sudden is talking to the guy like she's lost. Like, why would I even apologize to her for giving the phone back?
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? I challenge Metro. I challenge here right now against my lawyer's wishes to a public polygraph test. Lay it all on the line. You knew about this dude's blood pressure problem. You let him drive. You let him drive in an area that has 5 preschools and the elderly, and yet you still let him drive.
Well, you'd have to.
Why isn't that?
Well, yeah, Mac, I understand what the case you're trying to make. You'd have to prove that. Now, Metro, from what I've gathered.
Well, let's do it publicly.
Well, you are in a way right now. So
Well, no, let's do a polygraph test in a public forum.
Right.
I roll the dice with everything at one time. I'm telling the truth. They don't show that on the video. He knew he had a blood pressure problem. If he knew, then Metro knew. And if Metro knew, then they're liable. If they're not accountable through me, then they need to be accountable through somebody else.
Right.
Because in Texas, you're not allowed to be on a job site with a blood pressure problem.
Well, in the state of Washington, which is where we are, and when it comes to it,
I know we are.
You got it. So it looks like they do Seattle bus drivers in their 70s. So what it would be is Safeguard is the Federal Department of Transportation physical exam, which DOT, right, has real limitations for a driver in the 70s. What does it require? A blood pressure check, a vision test, a hearing test, neurological assessment, review of medical conditions, cardiovascular. But they only do it every 2 years, I think.
Okay, well, he's driving a public bus in a preschool area.
Right.
Imagine if that bus didn't hit cars, but hitting preschools walking across the street with a bunch of guardians.
Right. So the case you're making now is the video and the audio. Were manipulated in such a way to cover evidence that would be that the driver admitted to having a blood pressure problem right then and there. Joe.
Okay, so here's the thing, Mac. I think you're looking at the video that maybe Fox 13 showed you when they did that interview, because we got literally about 8 minutes ago. We did a public records request. We got all the footage from the King County Metro bus.
All up front.
Yes, no, we've got there's a giant video file for every single angle inside that bus. So we've got I have the moment you're talking about. In fact, I have it right here.
So Joe's
so I'm telling the truth.
You're telling the truth.
It's language. Okay, all right, hang on.
We're gonna see.
Gosh dang.
Hold on. Good catch there, Mac. Okay, hang on. Here, Joe has it.
You guys got that.
Emergency open for this thing?
Emergency.
That's Mac helping him down right now.
All the emergency lights.
You're all right, Greg. You're all right. You're all right.
Oh, he looks unconscious.
That's what I was telling you. He was not responsible.
Yeah, hold on.
I put my finger in his eye.
Hold on. Somebody's trying to put him on the ground.
Oh, he's okay.
He's awake now.
He's alive.
Yeah.
You all right, buddy?
Yep. Yeah, we're trying right now.
I'm on hold. This is emergency.
55.
Yeah.
I'm at the intersection of, just past the intersection of Greenwood and 85th. I'm on the bus that just hit like 7 cars. Our bus driver had an episode. Nobody on the bus is injured except for the bus driver. I have an injured arm, and the bus driver has had.
I went through the left heart attack.
Yeah,
heart attack, shoulder.
Here it comes.
I am just past. I am at Ty Comfort delivery. Ty Comfort.
There it is.
See? I told you.
I am.
Oh yeah, my blood pressure's too low. Yeah. But Mac, you've got to be careful, Mac, because you said your glasses got broken, but I can see them on your face.
They did. My left lens was cracked, but my right lens wasn't.
Okay.
And I look up into the video, and my right lens is okay, but my left lens is cracked.
Yeah.
I have real glasses.
I got it.
Back in the day, they make glasses. Now they make whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. All right. This interview is like this bus careening in all sorts of directions. Okay, look. So there's a driver on the ground, obviously suffering some type of medical emergency. He does say that my blood pressure is too low. We see the one guy who looked with the language back. And then there's the gal in the pink, and then there you are. So, and apparently you can't get out of the door. I guess the door is jammed. So at this point, yes.
But you don't see me. You see me raise up, and then all of a sudden I go forward.
Yes.
You know, my back. That's where I go through the window.
Yes. Okay. So.
And go ahead.
So where are we at this point? There's a GoFundMe that got started. I think you have $80,000 in there. You've got a lawyer.
Yeah.
what is the case that you're bringing before, and you're asking the damages are what, pain and suffering, and then where?
Dude,
yeah.
You know, I've not drank in 4 years, ever since my wife passed away. And I went to everybody asking for help. And you know what they told me?
No.
Besides you all kicking out to me, you know what they told me?
No.
This is the federal guideline. If I'm not a criminal, or I don't have a criminal record, or if I don't have mental health problems, or if I'm not a transgender, or if I'm not, what else they said, on drugs,
yeah,
or if I'm not this, or I'm not that, we can't help you. I'm sorry. Down on me, asking for help.
Yeah.
Not knowing how to deal with any of this, because this is all out of my element. I've never asked nobody for help. I worked. I rolled out. I mind my own business. I took care of my front yard. I did the right thing.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking for help, and they're saying, well, you don't fit in the criteria. Well, the other day, about a month ago, I went out and got drunk. I got tired of it. I got laid, and I got drunk.
Okay.
It had to happen.
Yeah.
Two things happened with my relapse. One, I was able to put my wife to rest because I got laid. Secondly, stop forcing things. I learned that you don't have to force it. It'll come to you if you just roll out. And that's what I learned from my relapse.
Huh.
Yeah, I actually do learn. I'm a third grader.
Okay. So keeping all of that in mind, at this point, Mac, you have an attorney. You're asking for damages. You're also saying that the bus driver.
I would like to be in a homeless shelter with people that don't take showers.
Yeah. Okay, but again, so you'd like Metro to. You believe the bus driver that they might, whether you can prove it or not, you might be able to do it through discovery. That the Metro knew that this driver had medical conditions and still allowed him to drive. I don't know why you'd be involved in that necessarily. Then that could be a civil suit.
Well,
but
if he knew, doesn't take common sense to say they knew. If he's yelling about my blood pressure and not a heart attack, if he knew, wouldn't Metro knew? No.
Well, but you have to look into what the agreement is between Metro and the drivers and the union. If you are on prescription drugs and you are able to control because of this, and they do come in and test you. I don't know how often they do it. And they don't
endangering little children is okay.
Well, you can endanger. No, it's not okay. Obviously, that's why they would say they had this. Well, they say they had the safeguards in place where the person's being tested. I don't know enough about it. We could look into that for you.
Texas,
Yes.
I sent you a DOT medical exam, which I took in Juneau, Alaska. That means I carried 50 pounds up and down 3 flights of stairs, and my heart rate and respiratory was in the same parameters. Let me see this one more time. The same parameters a 24-year-old trainee fireman.
Wow.
My blood pressure and my heart rate was in the same parameters.
Well, you could.
And you saw
Yeah.
it's signed, and I have an active DOT medical exam. That means I'm not going to have an issue driving a bus with children around.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he hauled to that too. Well, you can chalk it all up to clean living, apparently.
Well, no, just thank grace of God, because I'm an idiot.
You and me both, Mac.
All right. Final questions for Mac before we let him careen off to another interview.
I'm going to meet Mac some point this
No,
week.
I'm not. I'm done with interviews.
You done?
No,
Really?
I'm done.
You're done. All right.
Yeah, dude, I'm done.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay, Mac. All right. Wait, Joe's got something.
You got my word. I'm done. I'm telling you, I'm cowboying up right here on public.
Yes.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
If they don't step up, somebody needs to step up and say, hey, Metro, we got children. We love these children.
Yes.
We take care of these children.
Okay.
You got 5 preschools instead of cars. That could have been a flock of little 3 to 5-year-olds coming out of the public library.
I get it. Well, listen, knowing that you're knowing you're no longer doing interviews, the FCC can take take the week off.
Hey, we'll see you later this
All
week,
right,
Mac.
we're coming to see you, Mac. Okay.
Yeah, well, I owe you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I got to pay my debts.
all right. No, you got a cowboy up. Hee haw. All right. All right, Mac.
Don't be an asshole.
Run more curse. We out of him. We can't dump him. Mac, listen, we'll be in touch.
He's gone.
All right, goodbye. There he goes. Oh, my God. How are you doing in there? How many was that?
I don't know. It was like 5.
Did we catch them all?
I'm pretty sure we did.
We're going to love the guy, though, but yeah. Look at there. Look at Andrew. He needs blood pressure medicine now. Here's Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Collision cleared 405. It was southbound at the West Valley Highway, but we're still seeing a little bit of a northbound slowdown as you pass that scene. The southbound has cleared out pretty well. A little bit of heavy traffic through downtown Seattle to Everett, a 47-minute drive. Bellevue to Linwood, just 25 minutes now, and southbound I-5 Federal Way to Tacoma. It's going to take you about 16 minutes. That struggle northbound I-5, Marysville to Arlington, that seems to be lightening up quite a bit. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Installation, we stand by our quality gutters. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation. And visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. President Trump says talks with Iran are not quite over as the U.S. has begun its naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
With a U.S. military blockade on Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz, maritime data indicated at least 2 tankers were turned away from the key waterway Monday.
Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way.
Iranian state TV showed U.S. Navy destroyers being monitored near the strait.
Iran has promised to retaliate. President Trump, meantime, has approved federal disaster funds for Washington residents affected by December floods. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Minglavin has more on that.
Assistance can include grants for temporary housing and home repairs, low-cost loans to cover uninsured property losses, along with other programs to help individuals and families recover from the effects of the floods and landslides. In a statement on social media, Governor Bob Ferguson said in part, quote, "I appreciate the president approving a major disaster declaration for Washington state and approving funding."
Washington State Superintendent says it is time for Washington to catch up and ban cell phones in classrooms. Chris Rakedahl is asking lawmakers to adopt a statewide standard instead of just studying the issue. He tells TVW.
Common thread is that this really does work. It's not perfect, but students tell us, you know what I did at lunch? I talked to my peers.
The bill to restrict phones in Washington schools failed to pass over the last 2 legislative sessions. And a measles case has been confirmed in a King County infant. Health officials say the baby may have exposed others last week in Bellevue, Northeast Seattle, and on public transit, including light rail. This is the 33rd measles case in the state so far this year. We put up a list of potential exposure sites on mynorthwest.com. Bicycle weekends are returning to Lake Washington Boulevard. Details from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi.
From Memorial Day through Labor Day, parts of the road will close to cars every weekend, opening up space for biking, walking, and rolling along the waterfront. Holiday weekends will include extra days for the closures. In a statement, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson says, quote, "It should be easy to get out and enjoy our sunny days." Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Takes us to 4:33. Now we go to the real-time traffic desk with Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. We're seeing about a 47-minute drive now if you're heading out of Seattle towards Everett. Your slowdown into Seattle is just between the lake bridges, actually mostly southbound. 405, however, we're seeing a southbound slowdown through Bellevue past I-90 and northbound starting about Kirkland all the way to 522. And we're also seeing a northbound I-5 slowdown Linwood all the way actually to about 128th in South Everett. And then Everett to Marysville is pretty heavy. It does let up at US 2. We had the earlier slowdown in Marysville all the way to Arlington, and that is back up to a speed limit drive. Bellevue to Linwood, 25 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
And to your forecast now, cloudy skies right now, an active couple of days. Starting tomorrow, we'll see wind, rain, mountain snow, some chilly weather as well. Tomorrow and again on Wednesday. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From downpours to backups, whatever is waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Wow, well said, well read, Joe. With the horns coming in.
Auto service centers, fix your car right, day and night. Well, maybe not at night, but it rhymes with right. Bucky's Auto Service Centers, Bucky's, fix your car right.
Wow, this is not easy. This is like like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, that's one you need a rehearsal for.
Yeah, we got to shoot it out. Let's get Mac on to help us out with that one. Let's update on Mac, the bus driver, the savior. They don't make glasses like they used to.
Nope.
He was able to have a date.
Yes, he relapsed.
And relapsed.
Got laid, which had to happen.
Whoa, with the language. Whoa.
That's what he said.
And then it helped him mourn the loss of his wife. That people that live are not showering very often in the homeless shelter he's living in.
Yeah.
And he is he's going to give us the money back that we collected. So that's the update for Mac, the savior bus driver.
He's got $80,000 in a GoFundMe. So.
Right. And he's still looking for a little bit of justice, as Mac was going to do that. It was Liberation Day. I think it was the 1st of January, or 1st of April. It was last year, and the big plan was. Remember, Trump had the posters up, and these guys are going to pay 42%, and these guys are going to pay 60%, and these 100%. And this is going to be 105%. All these different countries, we import this much. They're going to take it as a percentage based on what's coming in, what's going out. And man, my head's just spinning at the end of the thing. Well, here's what finally happens. It was, as you know, if you're a tough negotiator, you just, you ask for a whole bunch and then you back off it. Eventually, it turned out to be about 10% that people were paying those imports into the United States. 42% of all imports came in and had a tax on top, and it's about 10%. The bad news is it didn't do what the president thought it was going to do, which was basically we'd bring in so much money, we wouldn't know what to do with it, and we could eventually get rid of the federal income tax. Didn't quite work out. On average, most consumers paid the additional tariff through this increased prices, about a 6% increase on any imported goods that came into the United States. So didn't quite work out. The other part of it is that it did add to inflation. What do you have there? Is Trump the tariff king? What is this? What's this?
It's just a little
President McKinley,
Oh,
William McKinley. William McKinley, highly underrated. Has not been properly recognized. William McKinley is an example. He was a big tariff president. He was a strong believer in tariffs. I'm a fan of William McKinley. He was the tariff king. I don't think he was as bad as I am. I think I believe in him even more than him.
Okay, the problem was with a totally different time. There was no international trade. We didn't have a federal income tax. How the country was going to make money, they could tariff the stuff coming in, and they did. It doesn't work in today's world, and it's been proven by the numbers. So, unfortunately for the president, it did bring in $280-some billion. The bad news is it added to the consumer price index by about, let's see, it's 3% consumer price index in 2025. If you hadn't had the tariffs in place, it would have been 2.2, which is just about what the feds try to keep it. So that's the bad news. And you can't tariff your way in because a tariff is a tax, and you can't just tax this stuff without the consumer feeling it. It's much like the Climate Commitment Act that somehow it was just going to be pennies, just going to be passed on. So the bad news is you can't tax your way into wealth or prosperity. Never happened, never will happen, won't happen in the state of Washington, didn't happen on international trade. So there you go. The bad news is also that if oil continues in the state that it's going, if they think another 2 months, if it stays above like 120, anywhere in there, we will begin to feel the downstream effects. Go back to 1973 to 1974, 18 months. In total, the Dow lost 40%. We're in a different world now because we do produce enough oil, but still, this can have a major effect upon international trade and international economies because we're all still running on oil. And unless the Straits of Hormuz are open, but right now it looks like they were going to block it, Iranians are going to block it, the United States says, oh no, we're going to come in, we'll unblock it, we'll get in there, and we'll make sure that all of those tankers continue to go through without having to pay basically ransom to Iran. It's this strait. It's not owned by anybody. No one is allowed to go in there and just all of a sudden say, oh, you have to pay money in order to go through. What were they charging? $2 million a ship? $2 million a tanker or something?
I don't know.
Whatever it was, I think they got like 14 would go through a day or 20 would go through a day. They're making pretty good money per day. And when Trump said, this is I think last Thursday or Wednesday, when the Pakistanis brought the agreement for a ceasefire, Trump's like, oh yeah, well, you know what? Maybe we'll help them out. We'll collect part of that toll as well. I don't get it. Well, he's just saying stuff just sort of to make news, or does that make sense to anyone?
No.
Like, do we have anything of just not to beat up on the guy, but the last meme that was put out caused some problems. The Pope was deeply offended by it. And it's the president of the United States in the meme. He looks like he's dressed as Jesus, and he's down there helping somebody. I think, is it Lazarus? He's bringing him back from the dead or something?
Don't know who that person is. This is an AI-generated image, but it certainly appears like he's Jesus. Here's his response to that.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better.
Okay, so there you go. Now you know. And there it is. He's a doctor.
Mr. President, we need Jesus Christ right now.
Is that a...
Well, you know what? That's not necessarily... He could be, a doctor in that one. He doesn't have a beard, doesn't have a crucifix on. It doesn't have a...
The people ascending to heaven doesn't really make him look like a doctor, though.
Yeah, the holy light coming out of his hands and...
and the angels behind him?
Yeah.
You could say Jesus was a doctor of sorts, I guess. He healed people.
Okay. I don't know. That's probably traditional garb back then. Get the American flag. It is quite the image. What's the thing in his hand? Is that a flashlight that they sell online that they keep saying, the federal government doesn't want you to have this flashlight? Quick, buy it now before they take this ad down. All right. There's the latest update on I feel like we're doing news having Mac on the whole time. All right, here's Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Seattle to Everett right now, 47-minute drive. Bellevue to Everett is just 43. Now, if you're heading southbound I-5 from Federal Way into Seattle, that's going to take you 36 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, only 41 minutes. And we are seeing a pretty hefty slowdown right now, southbound I-5 as you head past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Randy Johnson, number of retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. So get your tickets at mariners.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. If you have a bad shoulder, not you, Lori, but anybody else listening, bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, you know, as you get older, the stuff starts to crack and it just doesn't feel good, and your knees are like all weak, and your shoulder, you can't quite get the swing for the golf club or the tennis racket. Sure, you love hiking. Maybe you like to go skiing, but man, your knees just don't let you anymore. And you're thinking, wow, that really stinks because I loved being physically active. If that is your story, it's not over. And you are talking to a doctor and you're looking at the thought of going under the knife and maybe not. And the doctor says, well, you got about a 60% or a 40% or a 20% chance of being able to get full motion in the shoulder. The knees will not hurt anymore. Stop for a moment and consider a stem cell procedure, and consider it by the best guy out there that's done more than 20,000 of these. This is a 90-minute outpatient procedure. I can tell you from personal experience, had my hip done. I've never, ever felt better in the last 7 years. He has done great work for me. And I'm talking about Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. If you have got the bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before surgery, it's drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
You know what's great cut in half? I don't know, cake, pie. You know what's not? A neighborhood. That's what's happened up in Mukilteo for about 18 months now. The Edgewater Bridge has been closed, cutting the neighborhood in half. In a couple of weeks, that bridge is going to reopen, and the neighbors are ecstatic. This is Sully. I'll have more on Tuesday morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery.
Visit walottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
Voted best of Western Washington. Ranked #1 senior living community in America. Aegis Living, Washington's most luxurious assisted living and memory care. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Dan. Dan, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
I had the same insurance company for 30 years and just accepted all the premium increases as inflation or feeling tethered to them because I have earthquake coverage and was uncertain about being able to get that anywhere else. But when I talked to Ken at First Mark, wow, he came back with bigger umbrella policy, better earthquake coverage, which I didn't think was possible. And when he came down with the premium number, it was a no-brainer. We were saving over $2,500 a year. Don't wait, because it's annoying to think of what I could have done with that money over the last 10 years had I done something sooner.
Well, Dan did it. My family did it. You got to do it, and it's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge today. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be the next First Mark Challenge victory that I get to talk to as well. Simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Firstmarkinsurance.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit guardianroofing.com.
Just want to make money and enjoy the good life, which I guess would be drinking 10 beers a day for 200 days. This guy on TikTok, who Joe describes as incredibly boring, 28-year-old John May of the UK, carves out $8,000 a month by drinking 10 pints, and people paid him.
Day 102 of trying to drink 2,000 pints in a year. We are on a total of 886 because we had 11 yesterday. I went to the pub and got absolutely garrity. So that was quite cool. We were doing
that's cool.
gauging cokes. We were having pints. We were having all sorts. So yeah, that was quite cool.
That was day 101. Here is day 102. What have you? Get ready for this one, everybody.
Day 101 of trying to drink 2,000 pints in a year. We have had 875 pints, which means that we have an average of 8.66. We need an average of 4.2.
Okay, Joe, really?
And
I need a drink.
We'll complete it in the year. We have come up with a new target.
All right. First of all, the guy's 28. He sounds like he's 108.
He kind of looks like it.
And then who's paying him $8,000 a month?
That's what he gets for revenue sharing just on TikTok.
Oh, my God.
I'm in the wrong business.
No, you're not. You're fine. You stay right where you are. You want to end up like this guy?
2,000 pints in 200 days means that we have to now, on this new target, we are aiming for about 10.4. If we could have 10.4 pints every day, we'll hit 2,000 pints in 200 days. So I think that is actually...
If he didn't have that accent, we wouldn't have been listening to this. He was just a normal, but because, he's got an accent, we'll listen to him a little bit longer. Yeah.
It does add to it.
A little bit. It was nice to see my friend Lash back. He was in Thailand to get his hernia repaired. Then they fixed his teeth. He's like, what did you pay for your... Irish accent. He's like, what did you pay for your facelift? I was like, what? They went in there. He said, Dudley. Right. So he's
what
like,
happened to your Irish accent?
I just lost my last. Listen to this stupid guy. I can't. Now I'm switching all over the continent. 13 plus 1 equals 1. So he said, what'd you spend for your facelift? I said, like, I don't know, 20. He's like, oh, they would have done it in Thailand for $1,000. Like, yeah, okay, well, really, when you go there? He goes, oh, you go there for everything.
How does teeth look?
Good. I said,
Really?
why'd they give you 2 new fingers? He's missing the fingers.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get fingers.
Oh.
Is he going to go back for fingers? Yeah, I might. Yeah.
You really did lose it.
Well, I can't do it right now because
So
this
good.
stupid guy is stuck in my head.
Doable. 10 pints a day.
No. Well, I can't do it right now.
Do it
So, I can't. No, it's like listening to a song.
Come on,
Well, he's
Come on,
like,
this.
it's right. It's like when he came to the house and we were having a little party.
You're lucky I showed up.
Okay,
Baby, sit up.
It's the first time I've ever been. Okay, I'm stuck in Great Britain right now. I got to get my passport. Okay, here comes Lori. Check your traffic, Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Westbound 16 on the east end of the Narrows Bridge. Look out for a stall that's in the right lane. Still looking at a 47-minute drive out of Seattle to Everett. Bellevue to Everett, we're holding at about 45 minutes. Southbound 5 Federal Way to Seattle is 36 minutes right now. And we are seeing a slowdown past Joint Base Lewis McChord and a little bit of a slowdown right now as you're heading around the Fife curve and then again approaching 512. You can always listen at your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harder.
And I'm Manda Factor. Where does the ceasefire stand? And what about the Strait of Hormuz?
News Nation's Leland Vittert gives us his take on the status of the Iran war.
We told you about lucrative contracts the Trump administration gave the company that helped organize President Trump's rally on January 6th.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold has an update.
And Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and you know what they say, April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
If you're hurt in a car accident, call Harold Car Law Offices right away. They'll save you time and get you more money from insurance while you're able to focus on recovering. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 2 congressmen, Democrat Eric Swalwell and Republican Tony Gonzalez, are calling it quits. CBS's Michael Toscano with the latest.
California's Swalwell went first, posting on social media he will fight what he called the false allegations made against him, but, quote, "It's wrong for my constituents to have me distracted from my duties. Therefore, I plan to resign my seat in Congress." This after the House Ethics Committee announced an investigation into sexual assault allegations. Then it was Texas's Gonzalez who had been under fire for admitting to an affair with a staff member who later died by suicide. The timing leaves the balance of power intact in the House, with Republicans holding a slim majority, and that timing may be what pushed both out. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
The FBI has searched the Texas home of a man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the gate of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's home in San Francisco. And now Daniel Moreno Gama has been charged with attempting to kill Altman and a security guard. U.S. Attorney Craig Masakian says the investigation is ongoing.
If the evidence shows that Mr. Moreno Gama executed these attacks to change public policy or to coerce government or other officials, we will treat this as an act of domestic terrorism.
Police say Moreno Gama also threatened to burn down the OpenAI headquarters. The U.S. blockade of Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz targets Iran's ability to control the strait, and there are growing questions about who will feel the greater impact. CBS's Finn Gomez.
I think in the short term, Iran suffers more. The blockade is designed to stop Iran from policing the strait and profiting economically while the rest of the world suffers its closure. But the U.S. isn't insulated here. Of course, oil is over $100 a barrel and spiking. This represents the largest supply disruption in American history.
Pope Leo says after President Trump's social media rant targeting the pontiff's comments on the war with Iran that he will not shy away from announcing the message of the gospel.
Too many people are suffering in the world today. Too many innocent people are being killed. And I think someone has to stand up and say there's a better way to do this.
Vice President J.D. Vance tells Fox News the Vatican should stick to matters of morality. President Trump posted an AI-generated picture appearing to show him as Jesus touching a man's head. Trump defended his decision to post it, saying it showed him as a doctor, according to CBS's Weijia Zhang.
After the president posted this, there was a flood of criticism from his very loyal supporters, from conservative influencers, that made clear that this was just going too far, and they were calling on him to take it down, which happened, but we have not heard from the White House yet.
This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, a woman and her daughter stabbed. Deputies say another family member saved their lives. The story after Lori at the real-time traffic desk.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. We have an accident northbound I-5 at Portal Way. That one's sitting in the right lane, causing a bit of a slowdown as you head past the scene there. Westbound 16 on the east end of the Narrows Bridge, a stall partly blocking the right lane. Seattle to Linwood, we're looking at a 24-minute drive, and Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, 41 minutes. And again, we are seeing a slowing, not only approaching State Route 16, but then approaching 512 and then past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. So get your tickets at mariners.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A mother and daughter rushed to the hospital this morning in critical condition after a vicious attack inside their townhome in Everett. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss is there. He reports a second daughter is credited with saving their lives.
Investigators say they got a 911 call. Deputies showed up and found a 45-year-old woman and her 18-year-old daughter with multiple stab wounds. Deputies also were able to grab the attacker, a 20-year-old man, because the mother's other 22-year-old daughter somehow managed to put him in a chokehold and hold him until deputies arrived.
Police arrested that suspect. They say the family does know him, though it's not clear yet why he attacked them. Video from last month's King County Metro bus crash captures the driver make this statement on video. My blood pressure is too low, he said. The crash near Greenwood Avenue and North 80th left a trail of debris and several cars damaged. Mac tells KIRO Radio's John Curley he helped get that bus stopped and injured himself in the process.
You knew about this dude's blood pressure problem. You let him drive. You let him drive in an area that has 5 preschools and the elderly, and yet you still let him drive.
We have reached out to King County Metro for comments. Bremerton police say 16s are responsible for a wave of vandalism and car theft last week. Officers estimate they damaged about $50,000, including stolen vehicles, smashed windows, and property scattered across the roadways, then deliberately ran it all over. The group included 4 boys and 2 girls, ages 14 and 15. Mariners complete their 4-game sweep of the Astros. Starter George Kirby was excellent, pitching into the 8th inning, while first baseman Josh Naylor showed off some power.
Number 1 for Josh Naylor. A line drive into the lower deck in right field.
That was his first of 2 home runs today, leading the Mariners to a 6-2 victory. Seattle improves to 8-9 on the season. They're in San Diego tomorrow for a 3-game series. To your forecast now, cloudy skies tonight, active weather tomorrow, rain, wind, and mountain snow, and temperatures topping out in the upper 40s for Tuesday. Right now, 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live. Okay.
Oh.
No. We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
All right, well then. All right, go ahead. Apparently doing it live is more important. He never wrote it, by the way. We've analyzed this thing over and over again.
No.
Yeah. He didn't know what play us out meant. That's what the whole thing is. Bill O'Reilly's sitting there, didn't know what the word play us out, what that means. Sting's album, to play us out. Play us out? What does that mean?
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean?
Oh, I'm going to explain to you, Bill.
To end the show?
Yes, to end the show. You just say to play us out. Like,
all right, go.
Then he screwed up. We got the whole thing analyzed. Oh. Yeah. We do a whole podcast on it.
What a piece of pop culture history.
We do 3 podcasts a week on the Bill O'Reilly thing.
It's his legacy.
It's bringing guests in on this. Everybody's starting a podcast. Who's the other person? Oh, just got one. Oh,
RFK Jr.
RFK Jr. Oh, my God. We'll have to monitor that one. Here.
Please, no.
Right now, the vitamin D3 is going to help you. President needs some help as well. The war... Well, the war isn't going exactly how they hoped it would go. The great piece in the New York Times, great in the sense that you really got some idea of like, wow, look at this. We talked about a February 11th meeting where Benjamin Netanyahu came in, not to any fanfare at all, sat down. The president sat in one seat, not at the head of the table where he normally sits. They really feel it's you get this fly on the wall experience. And then everybody gets a chance to be mentioned. What did Rubio say? What did Vance say? What did Susan Wiley say? What was all the advice? So I talked to somebody on the inside today who told me the reason that article came out is because that's what they wanted to come out. The White House gave the access to the New York Times and basically told them the whole thing because they need everybody to know where everybody is. Was Vance for or against the war? Because don't forget, he's running. Rubio, for or against? Radcliffe, where is he on this? Where's everybody on this? And they give you this, like you were in the room. And they did the 2 days. They did the first day that Netanyahu was there, and then the second one. And the first one they explain, the New York Times does. You could read the piece. I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday, whatever day, Tuesday. They said the president sat there and listened to Netanyahu give a 4-point plan. The first one was to kill the Ayatollah. Second one is they're going to go in there and blow up the remaining amount of centrifuges. And then the third one was to get in place for regime change and then help support the growing support from the people of Iran to put a new leader in place. Well, the first two, according to the New York Times piece, we're like, okay, we can see that. Yeah, we could kill the Ayatollah. Yeah, we could probably go in there and bomb again. But everybody was quite skeptical of the second, the third, and fourth on the old PowerPoint. And they're like, well, how's that going to happen? And they did warn the president, but he said, according to the people that wrote the piece in the New York Times and now have a book coming out on this, that president's like, well, Bibi seems pretty confident that this thing can happen, so let's go with it. And now here we are. All right. It's not exactly a big win because Iran just realizes, we don't need to fire off a whole bunch of missiles or defend anything. We'll just close down the strait. We'll put a chokehold on the economy. We'll let China tankers go through, but we'll charge everybody else and we'll slow everything down. So then the president decides they're going to send some naval vessels there to reopen the strait. Now, the people there in Iran don't have the capacity to be able to blow our stuff out of the water. So now we are taking over the strait from the hostage takers that have taken over the strait before. And it's a mess.
We're blockading the blockade.
Yes, there you go. That's a simpler. Thank you, Joe. It's a much simpler way of putting it. Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander. Would you like to have that kind of stuff in front of your name?
Yes.
Former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, Admiral James Stavridis.
Nice.
What we heard from President Trump initially was a full and complete blockade, a shutdown, if you will, of the Strait of Hormuz. What has now developed and what we're hearing from Central Command, Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander, is more nuanced and I think the right answer, which is to blockade the Iranian ports. That's an important distinction. So let's assume it's the latter. How do you do that? You need 1 or 2 aircraft carriers in the region to put up air cover. You need a dozen surface combatants, Kate, so cruisers, frigates, destroyers, to actually station themselves off the Iranian ports.
Okay.
You need a couple of dozen.
Slow down. I'm trying to write all this down in case I ever need to do this. This is like Battleship. You ever play Battleship?
Oh, yeah. A5.
Miss. I took the aircraft carrier, which is the longest of your ships, and I was able to bend it in such a way that it was no longer seaworthy.
You cheated.
Well, I adjusted the shape and structure of the battleship, of the aircraft carrier. So my sister's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm B4 and it should be B5 should be a hit. I'm like, well, miss. She's like, how about B3? Whoa, slow down there, Missy.
crazy.
Number one, you're a cheat. Number two, you're stupid.
Okay, thank you, Sherry.
She nailed it.
Okay, back to it. Hang on. I'm just trying to get all these, because, again, if I want to open up the Strait of Hormuz or
frigates, destroyers, to actually station themselves off the Iranian ports.
Okay.
You need a couple of dozen small,
12 dozen.
fast patrol craft. The Emirates and the Saudis have these kind of craft, corvettes, patrol boats. And then you're going to need land-based air to maintain air superiority. This will be a huge and resource-intensive effort.
Saudi Arabia has said to the president, this according to the Wall Street Journal, they had a meeting and they're like, look, finish the job. We'll give you $1 billion. We'll help pay for stuff. We'll help pay for your military. Just keep going. Keep going. We'll make an investment in the United States. We'll do stuff with AI. We'll give you this and we'll give you that. Keep going, please. Keep going. So the president's got them on his side. To help offset some of the cost. Now, of course, they're going to want something in return, but mostly the people around there are like, look, if you can finish these guys off, that's great. You know, it's a really odd little fact that I learned over the weekend while reading about this. The Ayatollah did not want to build a nuclear weapon. He liked the idea of having the uranium and spinning it up and keeping everybody on their toes. But for religious purposes, he didn't think the nuclear bomb was something that he would be allowed to want to have built, but he liked using the threat of it, but not necessarily having it. Not like North Korea that has it and everybody's like, oh, that place is crazy, right? But they're isolated because of it. But the Ayatollah, who, R.I.P. on that dude, didn't want to have the completion of the bomb, because if you just keep everybody guessing, it'd be better. And that's where Israel came into the theory. They used to do this in Gaza. It would be called mowing the grass, that they go in every 7 years or something. You have Hamas firing missiles in and killing people randomly, or most of them being knocked down. But every 5 or 7 years, the Israelis go in and mow the grass. And remember, after October 7th, 3 years ago, Bibi said, no more mowing the grass. We're blowing up everything. We're not going to do that. Some people are saying the United States would have to just go in every couple of years and mow the grass, that let the Iranians work on getting some sort of nuclear bomb or whatever, and then you just blow up a bunch of stuff and fly back out again.
Why do we got to worry about their grass?
Iran's grass?
Yeah.
Well, Iran has always had sort of the worst intentions for the United States and Middle East. You think of,
I mean, they can talk tough, but I don't recall us being hit by Iran anytime recently or ever.
Their proxies have killed Americans, many Americans over the last 40 some years. But the idea is that you just go in there and take out the stuff and you get back out again. That's all. You think the United States should maybe make Israel a little bit more accountable for their actions. Hold on. Going by.
Is it a flying?
No, he's just going down. He's going down the road there. He's going down the road. All right. I'm not going to get into that with you. I'm switching here. This is me trying to get that mouse to get out.
And now you know.
Hang on.
The rest of the story.
All right, on to lighter news. Trump had a McDonald's order delivered by a DoorDash delivery person.
Yum!
Thank you. From Arkansas. Wow, that's going to be... This is because they're celebrating no tax on tips from the big, beautiful bill. So here you go. So you got this gal standing there. She came in from Arkansas. Oh, my God.
This doesn't look staged, does it?
They're all your favorites.
That's good. These are good. DoorDash is doing a good job. So the reason for this is the fact that I heard you picked up an extra $11,000 that you didn't get because the tax bill was so big. The refund was the biggest you've ever had. Is that a correct statement?
It definitely was. Yeah. I saved over $11,000 by not having to claim.
Was that surprising to you?
It was very surprising. Very surprising.
A great big beautiful bill. And that doesn't include overtime in your case. This is only just based on what we did in terms of every other aspect of the tax bill, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was $11,700.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that incredible? And that's what it is, the tax cut. It's really, we call it the great big beautiful bill. We should call it the great big beautiful tax cut.
Yeah. The Wall Street Journal has a piece that IRS is having problems because there seems to be a lot of people putting down a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't necessarily fit with categories. They think their fraud and deception might be higher this year than it's been in the past. Plus, the Wall Street Journal also points out that there aren't as many people working at the IRS, and they think more people are going to try to slide stuff by them. All right, so here's this gal standing there. She's got a red shirt on, and she's part of a DoorDash contingency from Arkansas. That's a long trip to deliver at McDonald's. And then at this point, so he's in the middle of a press conference because the president likes to have sort of impromptu press conferences. And there's the gal still standing there. Remember when the Easter Bunny was standing next to him all? That guy. Okay, so here we go.
We've been called by the other side. They'd like.
So there's the president standing there. And here's the gal in the red T-shirt. Does it say DoorDash or something?
Oh.
On her okay, so she's standing next to him.
To make a deal very badly. Very badly.
What was the sticking point over? You said it was over nuclear.
It was over nuclear. Very similar. Yeah, very good. I guess you're listening. It's over the fact that they will never have a nuclear weapon. Iran, you marking it down? Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. And we agreed to a lot of things, but they didn't agree to that. And I think they will agree to it. I'm almost sure of it. In fact, I am sure of it. If they don't agree, there's no deal. There'll never be a deal. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon, and we're going to get the dust back. We'll get it back either. We'll get it back from them or we'll take it.
We'll get the what back?
The dust.
Oh.
Mr. President, as far as the naval blockade is concerned, what's the end game? Is it to force Iran back to the negotiating table? Is it to open up the strait so that gas prices ultimately come down?
Maybe everything. I mean, both of those things, certainly, and more. We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world, because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen.
Okay, so is the gal still standing there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you the Easter Bunny could have done like a little sidestep and gotten out of the shot. They didn't do that. They kept him in the shot. So this lady's still standing there. You figure she sort of would wait to move, but when they bring you in and they rehearse you on this stuff, they don't tell you when you should go. She's just like, I don't know. I'm just a person who drives a DoorDash in Arkansas. I'm just standing here. So then you get...
No, I don't, because Pope...
This is about the Pope. Yeah, the Pope an apology.
Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran. Pope Leo would not be happy with the end result. You have hundreds of millions of people dead, and it's not going to happen. So I can't. I think he's very weak on crime and other things. So I'm not. I mean, he went public. I'm just responding to Pope Leo. And, his brother is a big MAGA person, and he's a great guy, Louis. And I said I like Louis better than I like the Pope. Now, you have to have law and order in our country, and that's what we have now. We have the lowest crime numbers we've had in a long time.
Okay, fine. Jesus, there's a lot of wild cuts on here. Then he asked about his controversial post depicting himself as Jesus. We played this earlier. If you haven't seen it, there's a guy who's laying there in a bed, and there's like angels behind him, and then there's an American flag, and then there's there's a nurse standing there, and the president's got looks like I don't know, one of those fancy lights.
You've seen the
flashlight.
Yeah, and there are icons of Jesus wearing that red.
I understand.
Did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ?
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross, as a Red Cross worker there, which we support, and only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said.
You know what's crazy is that, it's the same stuff all the time, isn't it? President Trump puts something out, people are offended by it, then he explains it, he doesn't make excuses or apology, it is what it is, and they're like another big dust-up on the stuff. Right? Just, another day at the White House. The best part is the woman standing next to him, somebody brings up something about trans something or other.
Yeah, he talks about the big beautiful bill. He asks her if she voted for him, and she goes, maybe. And then he says, oh, maybe if you had a time machine, you'd vote for me. And then he asks, he goes into the, they want to allow trans women, trans men and women's sports. You don't want that, do you? And she said,
he turns her, you want that? And she's like,
I don't have an opinion.
Here to deliver a hamburger. And then he kind of gives her a little whack on the back. Oh, yeah, good stuff. All righty. Another day at the White House. All right, here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Global Credit Union. We have an accident now northbound I-5. It's right at I-90 in the right lane, westbound 16. It looks like that stall's getting clear. It's at the east end of the Narrows Bridge, Seattle to Linwood, 24 minutes. Southbound 5, Federal Way to Seattle, we're looking at 36 minutes. And we're still seeing a slowdown south 5 around the 5 curve, approaching 16, approaching 12, and then past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I'm telling you, I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin and the crown disappears, and what happens? That hair loss just robs you of your identity. All of a sudden, you're the guy losing his hair. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, Advanced Hair's got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you because you're noticing it's going away. It's not coming back. And then you have to start thinking to yourself, okay, am I going to be the guy with the comb over? Am I going to just shave my head? Am I just going to be like partly bald and get a different haircut or something? Let's face it, none of those choices are anything that you want. What you want is your own hair back. You want your own hair back. So you set up a free consultation. You get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. That's 2 years in a row. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
You know what's great cut in half? I don't know, cake, pie. You know what's not? A neighborhood. That's what's happened up in Mukilteo for about 18 months now. The Edgewater Bridge has been closed, cutting the neighborhood in half. In a couple of weeks, that bridge is going to reopen, and the neighbors are ecstatic. This is Sully. I'll have more on Tuesday morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions. 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Home is more than a place to live. It's where the best of life unfolds, where possibility sparks, where community grows, where lives take shape. At the Master Builders Association of King and Snohomish Counties, that belief drives the work our builders, remodelers, and tradespeople do every day. Because when we build more homes, we're building so much more than housing. We're making room for what matters most. Learn more at roomforwhatmatters.com.
Owie, wowie.
What's with the
water heater's worn out?
Way less hot water?
Takes a lot longer, too.
Sounds like a goner.
Worst of all,
what?
Wasn't planning on it.
We can help.
Apollo Plumbing.
Ready right now to get you
in hot water.
Same day.
Not this day. My budget.
How about with easy payments?
How much easy?
Around $50 a month with approved credit.
A new water heater?
50 gallons of 100% hot water delight.
For about $50 a month.
51, 52 to be precise.
And you can do it
today, if that's what you need.
Is it ever?
Apollo installs new ones with code upgrades.
Can't beat that.
Actually, I can.
What?
Your same-day water heater replacement includes Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Which means?
Apollo Plumbing covers your new water heater for life.
You mean should it ever wear out?
Apollo Plumbing replaces it free.
And if it needs service?
Service is included for our A-list members.
Wow!
Your new water heater is ready
right now
at apolloplumbing.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. The war with Iran still officially under a ceasefire, even after peace talks failed over the weekend. President Trump now trying to force Iran to meet his terms by closing its ports. CBS's Weijia Zhang reports from the White House.
U.S. officials tell CBS News there's continued engagement with Iran and forward motion toward reaching an agreement. But so far, Iran has refused to give up their nuclear ambitions. President Trump says that is not negotiable.
In the meantime, the Archdiocese of Seattle is responding after President Trump criticized Pope Leo XIV and his opposition to the Iran war. Archbishop Paul D. H.N. says world leaders should promote peace, not threats. H.N. went on to say the president's statements and actions do not reflect gospel values. The president was asked if he would apologize to the Pope.
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran.
Pope says he will not enter into debate with the presidents. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the conflicts with Iran could slow down tourism here in the Pacific Northwest ahead of the World Cup.
Visit Seattle says the 6 World Cup matches here will still bring in up to $846 million and create 20,000 jobs. However, tourism officials are expecting a nearly 10% drop in revenue for shops, hotels, and restaurants, according to the Seattle Times. Congressman Adam Smith tells CNN the big sticking point is negotiations between the U.S. and Iran in Iran's nuclear capabilities.
You look at Trump's 15 points and Iran's 10 points, they could not possibly be further apart.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Storm used their first pick in the WNBA draft on a 19-year-old center.
The Seattle Storm select Awa Fam Tiam from Spain.
Fam Tiam speaking to ESPN after being selected 3rd overall by the Storm.
It was my dream since I was only 12 years old, and being here representing Spain is like, I'm grateful.
The Storm also selected at pick number 14, taking Taina Mayer, a guard from Duke. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:32. Here's Lori.
Traffic brought to you by Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. 167 northbound, the off ramp to 84th. Look out for a collision partly blocking. And then northbound I-5 in Seattle, 2 problems. Right at the West Seattle Bridge, we have a stall in the left lane. And then a little further north at I-90, a collision in the right lane. Still a problem West 16 on the east end of the Narrows Bridge. Heading from Seattle to Linwood, just a 24-minute drive. And Bellevue to Linwood, 22 minutes. This month, when you install a new AC or heat pump, you'll get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Schedule today at dayandnight.net. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Now to the forecast. Cloudy tonight and showers on the way tomorrow. Some heavy rain at times and mountain snow as well. Going to be windy. Stormy day ahead. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I'm enjoying a fine Wilcox family party egg right now.
Yum!
Spin the wheel, please, Teeny. That's a good egg. Names of all the players on the board spinning around and around in different colors, and it lands on me. Oh, well, I can tell you right now. I went down to the little snack bar that we have here and got myself two. Joe likes them as well. They're packed in their own liquid, whatever that is. And then you just peel the little thing back and you eat them, put some salt in there, and you got yourself a power-packed bit of protein that is just delicious. And it's a Wilcox Family Farm eggs. Put that in the book under Power Pack Protein in its own fluids. Does that sound gross?
A little bit.
All right. Well, it's its own fluids. It's not somebody else's
Right.
fluids.
It's not a mystery fluid.
No. All right. Let's see. By the way, is it official? Is Katie going to come on?
She is.
Katie Wilson's going to be on
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Yep.
Oh.
What did you
I thought it was going to be like tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow's full.
I told Rance, well, you got Katie Wilson coming on. Oh, all right. Well, I was going to have her on, but I don't want to. Okay, well, I'll wait till you have her on, and then I'll have her on later and do, walked away all angry. We do want to ask her about the fact that the city of Seattle has decided they're not going to have the cameras on. Do you have the sound of this thing, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, there was protest because there are about 60 surveillance cameras that are in various hotspots. Imagine that, putting cameras where crime occurs. It does stop some crime because people are like, we're not going to commit crime because they'll take a picture of us, keep them a step away. And then also, if a crime is committed, they can pull the video and then easier to catch the people that made bad choices. All right, then there's a protest on Friday because a bunch of people don't want there to be cameras.
For those who worked on Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's campaign and helped put her in office, there's been some disappointment so far in how she's addressed the city's system of CCTV cameras utilized by the Real-Time Crime Center.
I think a key part of that is making sure that we are not creating the infrastructure for the Trump administration to track our neighbors and, potentially arrest them unlawfully.
City officials have said the cameras target high crime areas and have been credited with helping to make arrests in more than half of the murders in the city last year.
Yeah, I guess your neighbors are killing
Mayor
people. Yeah, we don't want the cameras catching our neighbors killing people. Okay, keep going.
Wilson announced a pause in expanding the program as they get a third-party audit and re-examine city policies on how the cameras are used.
And so I think what I'm doing now, pausing the expansion while we do an audit of data security, storage, and sharing practices is very much in line with what I was saying during the campaign.
But not all residents are against the cameras.
Cameras give a sense of, hey, there is some visibility here. Somebody is watching.
Neighbors along Aurora Avenue put up their own camera system after years of dealing with shootings in their neighborhood and say they help provide an extra layer of security and a tool to help police track criminals.
Some of our neighbors have had bullets go into their houses as like stray bullets because of pimp fights. I'd invite anybody who's protesting the cameras to come up to 100th and Aurora any night of the week after 10 p.m. and see what they feel about cameras after that.
There you go. All right, here's part of the challenge. General security. The 2026 World Cup is described as a high-risk event, and law enforcement is particularly prioritizing anti-drone technology to combat unauthorized surveillance or threats noted by blah, 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 blah. All right, so what is Dallas doing? Dallas is spending $22 million on federal funding to dedicate itself to increasing security, including cameras, police, drones around the venue, and the Fair Park for International Broadcast Center. Atlanta got $8 million in FEMA funding for public security, private security, focusing on drones technology and cameras. Atlanta, the same thing. And then also Boston, preparations underway, 24 hours worth of security, team location, and cameras. Same thing in Philadelphia. So here you have Seattle. What's Seattle going to do? Emergency Operations Center is using real-time surveillance. Oh, are they? Featuring monitoring from police, transportation officials, along with support of 40 agency, according to the KIRO News Facebook post. So, and I think what they said, I think Katie Wilson's people said that they're going to put the cameras up only in certain areas and only if they know that they have a
threat.
A threat. Okay. So the rest of the time the cameras are off? That's always the weirdest thing of people that protest these. They're always so deeply offended by a victim that is in their head, right? And they're going to do everything they can to go out there and protest. But that guy said, listen, if you got a problem with cameras, come on up to Aurora Avenue at 10 o'clock at night when the gunfire starts going off. You're going to see why they want cameras. But the people that are protesting, oh, my neighbors, I don't want my neighbors. Really? Those are your neighbors? Do you live in that neighborhood? Have you had your stuff stolen? Have you been mugged? Really? Or you just live somewhere else over in the, Queen Anne neighborhood of Capitol Hill, and you're deeply concerned for somebody that's being victimized somewhere when even you're not part of it. When you go into those crime areas and they interview people, the City Journal did a really good piece a couple of years ago. They said, do you want more police presence? And the people that are in the neighborhoods where stuff's being stolen, yes, please. We love every time a cop car goes by. Why? Because at least the cop car could possibly stop somebody being robbed. But if you go 5 miles down the road and you ask somebody that's got, love is love and the bumper sticker on and all the flags hanging out front of their house, they're all about not having cops in the neighborhood. Well, they're not getting robbed. They're not getting mugged. They're not getting their stuff stolen. They're deeply concerned about the people that are in these neighborhoods where stuff is being stolen, where cameras should be. They want the cameras because they're the ones being victimized by the criminals. So Katie will be in on Tuesday. What other issues is she dealing with? Let's see. There's a whole group of people that wanted her in there, and now they're calling her Shady Katie because she's not following through with everything. Somebody was in here the other day, and they asked me, what is your take on her? Is she dumb? I said, no, she's not dumb. I said she's ignorant to some things, but she does know that what she doesn't know, and she's willing to get some answers. I also got to give her credit for being a complete novice in this, to at least listen to the other side. And she has, because when you lead, you alienate. And she has made some people upset with her. But let's see if it's a learning curve on this job is pretty steep. And you have to get the people that work with you. You got to realize who's against you. You got to sometimes go to the person that's mad at you and say, listen, this is why I made this decision. And if it doesn't work, you look at the numbers. And if it doesn't, let's bring you in and maybe we get a solution. So she's got to balance all this sort of stuff. That's a lot for a young person who has never really had a job.
And it's only been about 100 days.
Yes.
110.
She's doing better than Mondani's doing in New York. So, there's not much to compare the things to. But now she's supporting Starbucks, wants to keep Starbucks around. Right. She got elected. Nobody drinks Starbucks. Now they got Starbucks. And she had a world of problems because they've got some serious financial strain going on. She's also asked all of the different departments to look at anywhere cutting 5 to 10%. That'd be good to see. They put a hiring freeze in place. They'll see how well that does for her. And she still has high vacancy rate in commercial buildings. She has businesses not coming to Seattle, setting up over in Bellevue. So we'll have her on. By the way, any questions for her as well? I'd love to fire them from you to her. And that's going to be when, Joe? When is she coming back on?
Next Tuesday.
Okay, good. Right.
Don't know what time yet.
And again, I endorsed her because I wanted to see socialism in its full, beautiful, loving embrace.
Are you disappointed that you're not going to get that?
That it's not socialism?
No.
Failing as it always does?
She's already making concessions.
Yes, she is. She is.
Socialism failing to work as it always does.
That's right.
You talk about giving everybody something free and all of a sudden there's no food to eat. Hello.
Yeah.
Anyway, 0-2.
Right. There was no way she could have implemented socialism as they want to do, which is the ownership of all production. But she's experiencing it because you basically have it. We're going to tax the producers and give it to the non-producers, and we'll redistribute the wealth. That'll bring those people up. Their life will be better because of it. And the person who's being taxed is okay being taxed, and they don't mind you redistributing their hard work for somebody else that is hardly working. for some. Some truly need it, some don't. But when the gravy train comes by, just like Metro, you don't have to pay to get on it. Everybody on the gravy train. And just don't worry. We'll find somebody to keep making the gravy. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. We still have this collision, 167. It's northbound, just getting off the ramp to 84th. Northbound 5 at the West Seattle Bridge, a stall in the left lane. A little further north than that at I-90, we have a collision. That one's in the right lane. We've got a 25-minute drive, Seattle to Linwood. Only 22 minutes, Bellevue to Linwood. Both lake bridges right now looking pretty good, and South 5 slows from about 16 to 12. You get a break, and then heavy again past Joint Base Lewis McChord. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile is Saturday, May 2nd. So get your tickets at mariners.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. You know, some parts of the house that just don't quite work right. The closets are jammed. The garage, when you just avoid the garage, don't look in the garage. The pantry doesn't open. If it does open, a can falls out because it's just jam-packed. Now, you could try to get organized and maybe do a little spring cleaning, but still just not enough space. Well, maybe because the space has not been designed, custom designed. I'm talking about Closets by Design, coming in, working on your garage, your pantries, your laundry room, your office, home office, the wall beds, the entertainment centers, the mudroom, the whole house. But this is truly customized, and you will be amazed at how much space you have for storage. And you'll feel better about your house because it won't be so stressful to look in the garage, because now all of a sudden there's some cabinets and everything has its place, and you just feel better about the whole experience. And that's Closets by Design. And you know what they're going to give you? They're going to give you peace of mind plus 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Closets by Design. They came to the bar and did amazing work when he gave you some videos of the stuff they've done. You'll love seeing it. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetbydesign.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Hartman.
And I'm Manda Factor. Where does the ceasefire stand, and what about the Strait of Hormuz?
News Nation's Leland Vittert gives us his take on the status of the Iran war.
We told you about lucrative contracts the Trump administration gave the company that helped organize President Trump's rally on January 6th.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold has an update.
And Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you when they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see, they know, they hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. And you know what they say? April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA! The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Advanced Hair Restoration. I believe Hudson has a song you'd like to sing for us. Hudson, what do you set right up there? Okay. As you can see. Don't mess with him. As you know, mailman.
Bring the mail to you.
Oh, that's my best so far. Huh? High outside
buddy.
ball one. All right, we'll get the letter today. First, take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, so you say that girl gave dolls to her boys, huh? Is it 4 or 5 police jobs that are available in the Tacoma Police Department? The Evergreen State? Green represents the money.
Thank you, Dennis, for doing whatever you do.
Yep.
Devon.
Devon?
Devon. I like Devon. Like Heaven. In Iraq. Haha, that was my voicemail message, Joe. Hope you guys enjoyed the cheesy joke. Yes, we did.
Congratulations on getting pregnant. Mike in Portland says, proof that a British accent adds at least 50 IQ points, because if an American said, I'm drinking 2,000 pints in 200 days, we'd call it a problem. But this guy says it, and it suddenly sounds like well-funded research project.
What a coincidence, says old man John. I got power-packed protein, too. I've got 5 kids and 17 grandkids to prove it. Okay.
Let's see. Robert.
Obviously, we don't vet these things ahead of time.
I didn't have a lot of time. Robert in Oak Harbor said, I was in 5th grade and in some sort of early DARE program. The cop came out and showed slides of car crashes and talked about not being in control of your actions when you're drinking. I'm nothing special. I've lived just lived almost 61 years and never had a drink. I've been in plenty of bars and been the designated driver for friends. Nothing against alcohol. I just never wanted to be not in control of myself and my actions. Now, if there was a 12-step program for chocolate, let me know. Have a great day.
All right, Robert. Good for you for admitting your problem with chocolates. Return of the Mac. Fernando in Seattle says, Andrew, Called all of them except for the last one. I think we let him slide on the
I let him
last
slide
one.
on the a-hole. So
Yeah, thank you. It was nice of you.
Elliot in Seattle said, this guy's story reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer drives the bus.
Aaron in Roslyn says, wow, that was classic.
Brian in the 360 says, the hardest job Mac's attorney is going to have is keeping him quiet in court.
360, so he got drunk and then he got laid. Was he in Hawaii?
Josh in Auburn said, I don't have much faith in Mac's attorney, especially if he's not teaching him when to keep his mouth shut on the radio. Geez, good luck to his case.
Mac in the 425 says, or Mac says, I'm voting for this dude on the bus for president.
Dwayne from QFC said, ask Mac where he learned to poke somebody in the eye to see if they're responsive.
I couldn't get a question in.
Even during the video.
The interview was like driving a bus with Mac yelling at me. David, the naked mailbox guy, says the Mac segment was the best live radio I've ever heard. All right, well, you tune in tomorrow there, David.
Hee-haw Aaron says, back in my day, they made glasses out of real glass. That guy is great. How many more dumps can you do before KIRO Radio runs out of time?
By the way, when he dumps, is it 7 seconds out of the show?
I think so. Is it?
Is that it? So it just sounds like there's just giant chunks brought out.
Oh, it cuts forward. So you miss like the 4 seconds leading up to it.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, here comes Paul.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Paul in Sammamish comes out of retirement to say, sorry you haven't heard from me for a while, but I've had to temporarily stop listening to the show for medical reasons. According to my doctor, the sounds of John's voice would cause my blood pressure to spike. One time, while driving, my wife poked her finger in my eye. Not because I passed out, just out of spite. Whenever she pokes me in the eye with her finger, she calls it a Mac attack.
Oh, man. What a character. Don't forget, he's giving the money back because he's not that kind of person.
Don't even think about rejecting it, Joe.
Just got to find time to go get it.
Go get the money back from him or he's going to spend it on booze and women and the rest he's going to waste.
I think we got 100 from you, 100 from me, 100 from Andrew, 10 from Aaron, and 50 from Dwayne at QFC.
Oh, okay.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. I should have paid my fair share.
Yeah, come on, rich guy.
She left the glove hanging right.
How about Nate with $5?
I don't think Nate got in it.
Okay, fine. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Those two problems we had northbound I-5 in Seattle, one at the West Seattle Bridge and one at I-90, both have cleared. Seattle to Everett, a 35-minute drive. Bellevue to Linwood, 22 minutes. If you're heading on southbound I-5 Federal Way to Seattle, it's just a 36-minute drive. Actually, it's pretty mild Monday. Both lake bridges in both directions, a speed limit drive. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. For many people, a tax return is something you file. Pretty big sigh of relief, and you move on until next year. Now, it documents what's already happened, but it also reveals opportunities you may not be seeing. It's often said that CPAs look in their rearview mirror, documenting the past, while financial advisors look through the windshield, focusing on the road ahead. When those perspectives are aligned, your individual financial plan can be shaped with greater clarity. So that's where Madrona comes in. Now, on the 14th of April, which is tomorrow, Madrona is hosting a free tax return treasure hunt seminar. This is going to be in Kirkland at 7:30. You want to bring your tax return, uncover opportunities they may not realize are there for you. Madrona Financial and CPAs and the CPAs and advisors working together to review your return for savings opportunities that complement your investment strategies. See how it all works? Look in the rearview mirror, looking through the windshield. Everybody working together. Now, seats for the seminar go fast. I'm telling you, they do. So be sure to register at madronafinancial.com/events or call 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373. madronafinancial.com/events. 833-673-7373.
Hi, I'm Charlie Harker.
And I'm Manda Factor. Where does the ceasefire stand? And what about the Strait of Hormuz?
News Nation's Leland Vittert gives us his take on the status of the Iran war.
We told you about lucrative contracts the Trump administration gave the company that helped organize President Trump's rally on January 6th.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold has an update.
And Sully has traffic every 10 minutes.
Join us tomorrow, 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return,
but I haven't. 1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though.
I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Xfinity Tech Support. Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle